Make this like a show. Here, let me do it. Hey everybody, welcome to Video Games Lonesome. We are counting down 43 seconds and counting to the Xbox Next Generation reveal. They got kick-ass music rocking and the hype is not lost on me. Showmanship, it's important, and I hope that Xbox has finally realized that. Because, let's be real here, their last two E3s have sucked pretty hard. Unless you were there and got a free Xbox, I guess. Wait, they had Usher come out once, didn't they? I'm hoping for Usher. I'm actually saying it right now, that's on the top of my wish list for this conference.
Hi, it's Larry Herb, Xbox Live's Major Nelson here. Summer for Tina.
Okay.
We're ready to go.
We are moments away. We are seconds away, really, from a new generation reveal of games, entertainment, and TV. And I have to say, on behalf of myself and all the other Xbox employees, we could not be more thrilled to bring you this moment.
Absolutely. Welcome to our campus. Welcome to our home. This is where we come up with the ideas and the
pre-recorded,
the wonderful, great stuff that you are about to see. It is the one place.
Yeah, you guys are calling it too, eh?
All of your information, right?
Yeah, you may be watching this on your console or Xbox.com, but we are streaming live around the world. So welcome everybody in every country that we're in.
Whoa.
This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
E3 is right around the corner.
You're boring
and we're gonna bring
people.
Even more. But later, I see the clock going down. We've got to get going. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
We hope you enjoy the show.
Who is she? Oh, the music's again. They built their own building. They built their own building outside their own campus for this event. Pretty wild.
By bringing gaming to life. By bringing life to gaming.
Story.
Character.
Real emotion. Then we
Cliffy
have
B.
Me.
Me.
Definitely me.
And 40 million of our closest friends.
Hacks footage?
With every person we added,
The world we created became richer.
Filled with more joy,
Adrenaline.
and excitement.
And the more of you we put in games,
The more of you we put in entertainment,
The better they became.
We added your movements.
My moves.
And my voice.
そして革命が始まった.
So now,
We're about to change entertainment forever.
again.
because we're going to take all that we learned
In more than 30 years of innovation. And use it to change everything.
for the first time, you and your TV are going to have a relationship.
It's gonna recognize
My name,
My voice.
My friends.
Uh-oh.
my family.
My movies.
Me.
it's going to remember
All the things I like.
Love.
And really love.
We're going to use
Groundbreaking technology. And the power of the cloud.
To set my imagination free.
They've got a lot of people here.
Worlds and feelings.
I can only begin to imagine.
where I'll laugh more, cry more,
Scream more.
And cheer more.
where I'll stop
just watching,
And start feeling.
Alive.
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 Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Don Magic.
Yeah, that was all right. But they talked a lot about love, which gets me worried right off the bat. It's going to love me, and people are saying Xbox Alive.
On behalf of the entire team, thank you for joining us on the Microsoft campus at home of Xbox.
Xbox
I've
is
spent my entire
alive.
career in interactive entertainment, and I've never been more excited than I am today. Because today, we put you at the center of a new generation in the living room, where your games look and feel like nothing else, where your TV becomes more intelligent, where all of your entertainment comes alive in one place. More than a decade ago, Xbox put the most advanced hardware and software in the hands of creators so they could realize new visions for games. We believed in a connected future, so we made an early bet on Xbox Live, a living service that gets better each and every day.
A living service.
Gamers
Yeah,
were
guys, it
hungry
looks
to
like
adopt emerging
Alive
technologies.
is going to be
And with Xbox 360, we launched the
a major
HD era of
keyword
games.
here.
You wanted more competition and bigger communities, so we doubled down on Xbox Live. With Kinect, we made you the controller. We brought you new interactive content,
So
two-way
confirmed.
TV, fitness,
Xbox
sports,
Live ain't going nowhere.
And now, nearly 8 years after our launch, Xbox 360 remains a vibrant platform, continuing to lead the industry in sales. In a few short weeks at E3, we'll be sharing great news about what's next on Xbox 360. We're thankful to you and proud of our leadership position in this thriving $65 billion a year industry. Today, we look forward. Incredible shifts are happening across games and entertainment, with exciting new ways to play and have fun. Audiences are spending their time enjoying different types of content. Core and casual games, live and recorded television.
This was kind
sports
of
and
how
movies.
boring Sony started as,
These
remember?
stories are lighting up on every device, from the big screen to the tablet to the mobile phone. The living room has changed radically over the last 8 years with the addition of the cloud,
Had a lot of talk.
voice and gesture,
A lot of
and more
buzzwords.
devices. To continue to lead, we must provide compelling answers to new
Move
questions.
on, please.
Can we take what you love?
How long
and
is this
make
going
it
to be?
better?
An hour or an hour and a half,
Can
like
we improve
Sony's?
a living room that has become too complex,
Yeah, Sony had
too
a montage.
fragmented, and too slow by harmonizing your experiences? Can we offer new performance and power to inspire the world's greatest creators? Team Xbox is on a new mission. Design and build an all-in-one system to light up a new generation
You're
of
boring
games,
us, lady.
TV, and entertainment. It must be built for the future with hardware, software, and services that put you at the center. And at its very core, it must be simple, instant, and
Now he's
complete.
just filibustering.
We believe we can evolve what
This
you
is
love
getting a
to
little
make
out
it
of hand.
decidedly better and deliver breakthrough innovations.
He's saying nothing. Absolutely
So-
nothing here.
It's time for technology to step behind the curtain
Okay.
and for you and your entertainment to take center stage. Today, we're thrilled to unveil the ultimate all-in-one home entertainment system. The one with the power to create
Are they going to lead
experiences
off by
that
showing
look and
it?
feel
Like straight up
nothing else.
showing it?
The one
That'd
that
be
makes
good.
your TV
I'd like
more
that.
intelligent. The one system for a new generation.
Just show it.
Ladies
Do
and
it.
gentlemen, introducing Xbox One.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Great. Now every generation after this isn't going to know which Xbox had the first games on it. Which one was the first Xbox? The Xbox X or the Xbox One? God damn it. Kinda looks like, is that the new Kinect? What the fuck? Where's the... Doesn't the Kinect need 2 cameras? New controller. Ultimate precision. I don't understand how the Kinect can be like that. I thought it needed to have, or like maybe, I don't know. I have a feeling that's a camera or a better camera and that the sensors are different somehow now than they used to be.
Xbox One.
Wait a second. Wait a minute. Who did they pack that place with? How are they getting that many cheers when Sony got like nothing? Whatever they did it right.
Is built to amaze
Nintendo
on day
doesn't even
one
get those
and
cheers anymore.
continuously improve over the
Aren't they
generation
supposed to be
ahead.
like angry,
In designing
jaded
Xbox One, we've
press?
obsessed about every
Press is
finite
always the
detail.
worst though for
In every
reactions.
engineering milestone, at every corner.
Did they get them
every
drunk
feature,
before they went
the
in?
principles we followed were to be simple.
Yeah, that's what
instant,
I'm
and
guessing.
complete.
It's got a ton of Xbox employees in the back
Please welcome
and
Yusuf
all press
Mehdi
at the front,
to show some of the new experiences you'll find only on Xbox One.
which is smart. Yeah, look, none of the people in the front, there's a couple that are clapping, but it's mostly all the applause is coming from the back. Smart.
Here
It
at
is very
Xbox,
smart.
It's no secret that we love gaming. We love the immersive worlds, the epic
Guys,
battles. and the
people
thrill
just
of
cheered
competing
for
with
this
our friends.
dude for saying
With
hi
Xbox
and
One,
good morning.
you're
They
gonna experience a new
cheered.
generation of gaming like you've never seen before.
It's
And you're gonna see that in
definitely
a little
fake.
bit and a lot more at E3. For now, though, I want to show you how we're going to take that passion for gaming and apply it to your entire TV experience. Join me over here in front of the new Xbox and Kinect. Now, let me set up the aspiration. What if a single device could provide all your entertainment? And what if that device could turn on your TV and talk to all of the devices in your living room?
I don't want it
What
to.
if it was always ready and connected? Well, now it's all going to begin with two simple words. Xbox on.
Not the way I say it.
And it's that simple. Xbox One instantly recognizes me and gets me to my own personal home screen. No more manual login, no more waiting on system or game updates. Now the home screen, as you can see, has a familiar interface. But let me point out for you a couple of unique differences. First of all, it'll remember what I was last doing. So for example, here in the center of the screen, you can see I was playing one of my favorite racing games. This one here is just one of the new amazing Xbox One exclusives you're about to hear a lot more about.
Shut up!
You can also see
Sorry, I just had
I was
to toss
listening to
that
some
in there.
music by Deadmau5 and watching a movie. Now, like many of you,
And it's
I
also
also discovered new
Deadmau5
entertainment
5.
based on what my friends like.
Dude.
And for that, we created a new area called Trending.
Oh, for fuck's
Here I get a
sake.
snapshot of what is
Oh,
popular
man.
in the entertainment world, both with my friends and with the entire Xbox Live community.
No.
Of course, I can still browse the great content I've come to love on
You're
Xbox,
doing it wrong.
such as games,
We don't
TV,
need the
movies,
Yahoo front page
and music.
on our Xbox dashboard.
Xbox Go Home. Now that you've seen the start screen and home experience, let's do what millions of people do every day. when
Games
they turn
should be
on
the
their TV.
first goddamn panel.
Guess what?
For fuck's
They watch
sake. You
TV.
better be able
It
to
sounds
fucking
simple and
rearrange
obvious,
it.
And it should be, but today it isn't because of the need to change inputs to get to live TV. All that is going to change with Xbox One. Let me show you.
So this has
Xbox,
been rumored
Watch TV.
that you'd be able to pop your,
And with that simple command, I'm watching live TV.
be able to take your TV feed, your cable box, and plug it right in.
Now here in Seattle, I'm a Comcast subscriber, so this is the programming available in my area. But hold on. Let me show you how we're going to take live TV and make it not only integral to the Xbox, but also incredibly useful through a great new feature called Instant Switching. Xbox, game. Go to TV. Go to music. Watch TV.
When will you ever do this?
Yes, that fast.
When are
Did
you
you see
ever
how
going to
that
switch
was?
through them like that?
Come on, it was so good. Let's see it
Xbox
again. Let's see
Music.
it again.
Xbox
Go to
TV.
Internet Explorer.
Xbox Game.
Oh, nice.
Xbox TV.
Watch TV.
Xbox Game again.
Watch movie. Switching
Oh
between
man,
live
I
TV
shouldn't
and
be on
online
right now
games
because I'm going to be
entertainment is
doing
now
this again
fast as
tonight. I'll be
switching
doing the exact
channels
same
on your
thing,
TV
the
remote.
whole spiel you're seeing me do right
You've
now.
already seen how simple it is to use your hands to navigate through the Xbox One. But we're going to create a new set of universal gestures to control your entire TV experience. Gestures such as grab and pan and swipe up. Let me show you one of my favorites.
Oh my god.
Here's an example of how I can get easily back to my home screen from anywhere in the system. I simply spread my hands, grab the screen, and I'm back home. And if I want to
Yeah,
get
that's
back
going to create
my
sibling
movie,
rivalries, eh?
I grab and I'm back to the movie.
Little sister comes in and
And
says,
again,
Xbox
This is not only
TV.
now simple, but it makes it instant to get what you want. Now, have you ever wanted to do more than one thing at a time when you're watching TV? Of course you have. On Xbox One, the ability to do multiple things at once on your TV is now a reality. Introducing Snap Mode for the Xbox. Xbox, Snap Internet Explorer. With Snap Mode, I can run multiple programs alongside one another and easily interact between them without having to shut one down and start up another.
I've got a tablet to do
Xbox
things like
favorites.
this. Maybe you guys don't.
Star
Maybe I'm
Trek.
speaking from a rich asshole's point of view or
So
something.
right now
I'm not
watching Star
rich,
Trek,
but
and
I know
I've heard
people
great things
consider
about the
me to be
sequel,
because I
Star Trek
have
Into
like
Darkness. So now I can use
things.
Internet Explorer and my cell phone
We all
as a
have like
remote control, for
laptops
example,
or
to
like a
watch
computer,
trailer,
you know, when you watch TV.
and I can even navigate to find movie times and buy tickets.
I don't
And
want
again,
this.
at any given time now, if I want to go home, I just grab and I'm home.
Nobody's going to use this.
All right. Now I'd like to introduce for
Or a
you
smartphone.
another amazing thing you can do on your Xbox. Skype.
Boo!
Xbox One connects you to family, friends,
Boo!
in ways
You
aren't
guys,
gonna
I
find
haven't
on other
ranted about
TVs.
Skype lately,
Not
but
only will you
I've
get
had
Skype experiences in widescreen
some really
HD
recent
with the
shitty
best living room
experiences with
camera
Skype
available, but
involving
only on
money
Xbox will
and
you be
them
able to
taking
do
it
group
from me
video
and not giving
calls
it back
on your
when I
TV.
gave no permission
Let's take a
for
look
it.
at Skype in snap mode. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab my movie and zoom back to it. And to help you show it off, I've asked my friend DJ, one of the members
Fuck
on
Skype.
our sports team, to call in and help me demonstrate. And right on cue, DJ calls in. Xbox.
I hope he's actually a DJ.
Answer call. Hey
Aw.
DJ, thank you for
I'll
calling
be
in
like,
to help
"What's
me show
up?
off
Wicka,
Skype in
wicka,
snap
wicka."
mode.
I'd be like just sitting there
Looks like
listening
you're
to
working
him.
pretty hard out there.
Hey Yusuf, thanks for having me. I'm happy to do it. You know, it looks like you're doing okay yourself. I'm looking forward to you showing off the great work we're doing with our partners at ESPN.
Pre-recorded.
As a matter of fact, that's what's coming up next. So why don't you sit back and enjoy it?
That's great. Just make sure when you get to fantasy, you show the real version.
His audio quality
One more.
sucks.
I'm in first place.
Yeah. Skype in call. Let me go ahead though and show you that Xbox sports offering that DJ was talking about. Xbox, watch ESPN. All right, let me set up the scene here. Imagine I'm at home.
Yeah, I know.
watching
Skype's
NBA
owned by
game during the
Microsoft
regular
now. That's
season.
why they're doing
But
this.
if you're like me, I like to keep up with my fantasy team. Now what I can do though is instead of having to pull out necessarily a separate device.
Oh my God,
when
I'm so
player
bored
scores in
right
like
now.
LeBron, I automatically get an alert that just pops up on the TV, and I can say Xbox, show fantasy.
I'm not trying to be bored either. I'm just
And now
really
I get my
genuinely
fantasy
bored.
players
This happened during Sony too. I got bored.
Really one of my favorites here, and that's Stats Update Live. But
See,
in
this is a
addition, I can go
gimmick
ahead
that
and
you'll
check
do
out
for your
league
friends
standings.
one time, and they'll
You
be
can
like,
see,
"Ah,
here's
cool,
my
dude.
past
Yeah,
lead
cool."
DJ with that score
And then
from
you'll
LeBron.
never do it
Always
again.
good when you're doing the demo. And in addition, I can go ahead here and I have a nice thing called Featured Highlights, so I can see clips of my favorite players when they've done things, even if I'm not there. So let me throw this one to the full screen. Here's my center, Tyson Chandler, and here's how he helps me dominate the fantasy league with plays like that. Always very nice. All right, now what you're seeing though is just one example of what we can do with live TV. But can you imagine what we could do with the Super Bowl or the Golden Globes or even with political debates with this ability to have interactive TV?
Oh my fucking Christ.
All right, finally, let's tackle what I think is the biggest challenge with watching TV. Anybody?
A challenge from
For me,
watching
it's
TV?
finding what to watch and keeping up with it.
Finding out what to
Introducing
watch
the
and
Xbox
keeping up
One
with
guide.
it.
Xbox, show the guide. Now you can find, discover, and watch TV in 3 powerful new ways. Voice control, search,
Another
and
thing that
navigation.
indicates that this is canned
favorites,
applause
and
is that
trending.
they know exactly when
With the
and
Xbox
when
One
not to
guide, I see
applause.
all
Like,
my local TV listings
if it
right
was
through
just an
my
excited
Xbox.
crowd,
And I can
some
use
of them
my
would have
voice to
clapped
check
there
out
like,
what's-
oh,
Xbox,
yeah.
Today's Show.
It always happens when you have an overexcited crowd. But these guys know
Sci-Fi
exactly
channel.
when they're supposed to clap.
Watch MTV. What's on HBO? Pretty cool, huh? Let's see that again.
No, we saw it. We get it.
Mary
It's
and
not a
Martha.
big deal.
Watch CBS.
From that shot, we could just
Show
tell
the
right
guy.
there that they're not just in the
See how
back.
easy
They
it is?
have them
No more memorizing
interspersed
channels or
throughout
hunting for remote
the
control.
in little groups
The next thing I
throughout the
wanna show you is how I
journalists.
stay on
Like,
top of all of the series
it seems
that I
like
love
there's
to
4
follow.
employees, 4 journalists, 4
Xbox
employees,
favorites.
4 journalists, all the way out through the whole
Favorites area
building.
is an easy way
It's
to
smart,
keep up with all
very
the
smart of
TV
them.
shows that I like to watch. All I have to do is pin the content in one convenient place. It's a lot like having my own personal channel. And finally, there's one of the areas I like the most. Xbox Trending. Trending gives me a glance at what everyone in the Xbox Live community is watching. I like how current it is. It's up to the minute.
Xbox, tell me what
From
I
here,
should
I can instantly
like.
jump into the most popular shows. But Trending
Xbox,
isn't
I'm
just
lacking
for
in
live
personality
TV.
and
There's also a
opinions.
section for
What
video
should I
on
be
demand,
watching right
So I
now?
can see what people are liking no matter what time zone it's in. Xbox, go home. So there you have it. The all-in-one system where it all comes together. Games, movies, music, web, and now, Skype and Live TV. The one place where you are now at the center of your entertainment.
Oh, man.
The one place where it's simple and instant to connect with your friends. This is the beginning of a new generation of
So
games
did anybody
entertainment.
confirm for me? How long is this going
is
to
the
be? An
beginning
hour or
of
an hour and a
truly
half?
intelligent TV. Now I'd like to welcome Mark Witten to the stage to show you the magic and science that makes all of this
Magic
possible
and
behind the
science.
Xbox One. Thank you.
Just 1 hour?
Thanks, Yusuf.
At Xbox, we're focused on how you play and how you're entertained. We're driven to build a future-proof system that brings together the cloud, smart devices,
Who's
new
this guy?
content,
What does he
and
do?
new ways to interact with all of your entertainment.
Mark Whitten?
Yusuf just showed you intelligent TV and the high performance of Xbox One. There's an amazing amount of technology that enables all that you've just seen.
Some fat.
I'm thrilled to be the one to show you under the hood and give
He's
you a
a
taste
wizard.
of what powers the new Xbox. There are 3 ambitious investments that we made to
The
drive
Magic
new
and Science
generation of
Division.
entertainment. First,
God damn you
there's the
guys.
console and the revolutionary Xbox One architecture. Second, advances with the most important input devices.
You heard it here
Kinect,
first, guys.
The controller and smart glass.
The architecture is
And
revolutionary.
Third, Xbox Live, reinvented by the power of the cloud.
The off-the-shelf
starting with our
x86
system,
architecture is
It's
revolutionary.
connected and ready. It's an elegant design that meets the needs of the new generation. The heart of that system is raw power. From 500 million transistors and 512 megs of RAM in the Xbox 360 to over 5 billion transistors and 8 gigabytes of RAM in Xbox One. USB
That doesn't
3.0,
mean anything.
Wi-Fi Direct, a Blu-ray drive.
At least, wait, 8 gigs
a
of
native
RAM though.
64-bit
How much does the PlayStation
and
have?
variable power states.
The new
all
PS4?
while delivering
Is
practically
it 8?
silent operation. This is a modern, powerful box engineered to deliver now
Yeah,
and
8
well
as
into
well.
the future. But it's how we marshal that power, how we create the system that works to deliver the world's greatest games and provides the flexibility to power entirely new, connected experiences. To do this, we've brought technology from across Microsoft to create an industry first. The soul of the new system is the Xbox One architecture. 3 operating systems in one. The first is the best of our Xbox operating system, made even better by providing deep
3 operating
access to
systems
the
in
hardware
one.
so that creators have no limits in harnessing the power of Xbox One for cinematic realism. The second is the kernel of Windows, providing consistent access to web-powered applications and experiences. Flexible, powerful,
So it's got a
simple. The third connects these 2 operating systems to create instant switching, multitasking, and effortless control. Only Microsoft and Xbox could bring this level of power, performance, and sophistication to the living room. And it changes everything. The Xbox One architecture enables the new experiences that you just saw from Yusuf. There's no waiting. You can switch to your game like it's a TV channel flip. You can snap Internet Explorer in the new
Can you guys tell me how he gets 3
But how did the TV know Yusuf and react to
operating
his
systems out of this?
We're bringing a new Kinect sensor paired with every Xbox One, which puts you at the center of your entertainment. Kinect is completely redesigned to respond instantly to you, your voice, and your gestures. Voice is now more
He's bullshitting, that's how, okay.
It's faster, and it supports the entire family.
That's cool
And
looking.
our new proprietary
Even
time
though-
of flight measures the time, about 13 billionths of a second, that it takes individual photons to bounce off of you to create unprecedented accuracy and precision. Over 2 gigabits of data per second.
That's what I was going to say, Calf. Windows 95, Windows ME, and Windows Vista
Games and
combined
applications will
into
create
one
new
system.
experiences like you've never seen before. 3 years ago, Kinect ushered in a new capability to make you the controller. Let's take a peek at the power behind the next generation Kinect sensor.
Technically, it does
We
use
started
photons.
with the ability to see your world.
Yeah.
Now that world is crisp, it's clear and beautiful. A 1080p, wider field view capture of your world. As you saw with Yusuf's
That's higher
call,
resolution than the
Kinect's camera
PSI.
and Skype offer the best
The
shared
PlayStation
communication
Eye.
experience in the living room. In 2010, Kinect layered in an analog understanding of how you move. But in 2013, we revolutionized this capability. There are more joints. And now, for the first time, understanding the slightest rotation of a wrist or a shoulder. We understand your balance.
Because it's going to be
Transfer of weight
hyper
from one
accurate.
foot to another. The energy of emotion. When you're exercising, it can read your heartbeat. This is human control for a human experience. Now, we wouldn't bring you
And
next
once
generation
again, the
gameplay
coolest
without
things that
innovating
will
on
be
our
done with
controller.
it will be from the hackers.
For the new generation, we're taking the world's best controller and we're making it better. The Xbox One controller is updated with over 40
Or
design
Double Fine.
innovations. It features updated ergonomics and an integrated battery compartment that just fits better for gamers of all ages.
Dude.
New dynamic
Those
impulse
teardown
triggers
websites are
allow
getting their
creators to
lunch
program
eaten
feedback
here.
directly into the triggers. And a newly designed D-pad creates precision for immersive gaming. This is your controller.
Designed by gamers for gamers.
And the
for
new
next
D-pad
generation.
has precision. You hear that? The old D-pad didn't have
We can't talk
precision.
about input innovation without Smart Glass.
Apparently.
Last year, we unveiled Smart Glass to enable your devices to work together with your Xbox. Your tablet can instantly become a remote control.
Yeah, I hear the
and a
old
deep
D-pad
companion
people hated.
experience. We've had over 10 million downloads of Smart Glass for the Xbox 360. But with this new generation, your smart device
Arrow
will
equals
behave
no
like it's born to
precision.
work with Xbox One because it's natively part of the platform. Connect, controller, Smart Glass. Innovative, familiar devices to control your experience your way.
Are those the three operating
The real
systems?
magic
The
is what
Connect, the
happens when
controller,
all of these
and the
devices work
Smart
together to
Glass?
create all new experiences. The new Connect sensor is the binding power between these devices. When you press power on,
That's not
or
operating
volume up,
systems, that's
when you change the
interfaces.
channel on your Smart Glass device, Connect seamlessly makes it work. When you pick up your controller, Connect recognizes you and the controller, and it gets you into your latest game save instantly. Speak, and your troops follow your commands. Raise your controller, and a virtual shield follows. Your devices work in harmony to create a lag-free, instant, and complete experience.
I don't think you need a Windows tablet to use Smart Glass. I think they said that Smart Glass would work with iPads and Android devices.
To truly evolve the next generation of games and
Didn't they
entertainment,
confirm
you need
that?
access to the most powerful entertainment
Like during the
service.
first E3 they debuted
The new
it.
Xbox Live is built on Xbox One to amplify an all-new
Yeah,
generation.
Smart Glass is on everything.
Based on the same membership you have today, but now more powerful, more personal, and more intelligent.
Okay, here we go. Maybe some details
When we
about the
launched
user
Xbox Live
experience.
in 2002, it was powered by 500 servers. With the advent of the 360, that number had grown to over 3,000. Today, 15,000 servers power the modern Xbox Live experience.
That's actually a list than I thought it would be.
But this year, we will have more than 300,000 servers for Xbox One, more than the entire world's computing power in 1999.
All right, Xbox.
Let's talk about the experiences enabled with all that power. Your content is available.
Make
and
it
it's
like
stored in the
PlayStation
cloud
Plus,
so you can
and I'll be
access your
impressed.
Movies,
Come
your
on,
music,
guys.
Your games.
It's
your
good for
saves,
gamers if they do
anytime,
this.
Anywhere.
I'm
As you've
hoping
seen
this
today,
for you
Live
Xbox
brings
Live
all new
lovers right
experiences,
now. I'm
including
hoping
Skype
that you get something
and
like
what's
that.
trending across games and entertainment, and of course, intelligent TV. And playing games is brought to a
Maybe
whole
I'll
new
become
level.
an Xbox Live
Just
lover
imagine.
too.
You will now have a dedicated game DVR to capture and access your magic moments and save them to the cloud. With our native editing and sharing tools, you'll have the most amazing bragging rights on Xbox Live. Achievements become dynamic and changing. They tell your
So is this going to be
personal
like the share
story
button then?
of how
They're
you
going to
play,
be an
not
in-game
just what you've
DVR,
done.
they say.
You will play richer matches with the future of matchmaking.
Can I
And
share
our new
that?
asynchronous capability will allow you to search for your perfect match in your favorite game while you play another game, while you watch a movie, or while you browse the web. And finally, game developers can take advantage of our worldwide multi-data center infrastructure to drive direct game computation. This means bigger matches with more players. It means living and persistent worlds. There you have it. The breakthrough Xbox One architecture. Next generation inputs anchored by Kinect, and a completely redefined Xbox Live. You've seen how we built it, but the real magic happens when you put that power in the hands of the world's greatest creators. I'm proud to introduce Andrew Wilson from Electronic Arts.
That wasn't enough time spent on the in-game DVR, and they only have a half hour left. Like that's the first thing that I actually want to hear about. What did you guys hear him say? Persistent, which would indicate always online.
Partnership between EA and Microsoft.
When did he say that? Was it the last like passing remark?
Many of the details of this very special relationship. But for today, I want to start with the world's first look at EA Sports.
He said
on
persistent
Xbox
world.
One. We share a common vision with Microsoft that games should be intelligent, dynamic, connected, rich with emotion, and most importantly,
Persistent
fun.
worlds.
We're developing 4 games for Xbox One that are all of this and much, much more. FIFA, Madden NFL, NBA Live, and UFC.
Oh my Christ. We went from fucking boring to worse. This is just, oh my God.
All 4 will launch in the next 12 months. All 4
And I hate
will be
this guy.
revolutionary, and all 4
You guys
will
remember the last
fundamentally
E3?
change the way you
I
play.
hate this dude so
Best
much.
of all, this new generation will be powered by EA Sports Ignite, an all-new game engine that we're unveiling for the very first time today.
Cool logo,
EA Sports
brah.
Ignite is designed specifically to help us blur the line between real and virtual. For us, creating a new engine started by examining what defines sports at the highest level. Instincts and decision-making, human intelligence.
Doesn't he just have a
speed and
face that
agility,
you figure would be a
true play
dickhead?
emotion, dynamic
Some people just have that
environments
face. A lot of you
impact
probably feel the
how
same way about
game is
me.
played.
You know that face?
This is the essence of sports. Let's hear from some of the best athletes in the world.
The mind is what makes us all different. You know, everyone can hit the gym.
Holy
The way we
shit,
think
I'm
is what
so
makes us all
fucking bored right
individuals.
now. Can you guys remind me, did PlayStation do a segment dedicated to sports? Because I don't think they did. They did a little tiny thing for cars where I got really bored, but I don't feel like there was any sports. Was there?
Whether the safeties are rolling down or they're rolling back, whether the corner,
No, they didn't do
cover
sports.
2, cover 3, cover 4, cover 88.
Thank fucking
I've
God.
for days with that stuff.
They also did
It's
nothing
just-
to do
it
with
is a really
goddamn
mental game. You
TV
just gotta make
or
sure you don't get psyched out about it.
friggin'. They had a lot of talking, but they really focused on games. And you gotta hand that to Sony. Like, we wanted them and they gave them to us. Even if there was a bunch of talking in between that was kind of buzzwordy. At least the buzzwords were about video games.
Contacto físico es importante.
When I square up on somebody, I usually just look at their feet, and you know what I've learned is the lower you are, the further you can go. If you're going full speed, you're at an angle, they can't stay with you.
I remember walking out to that arena. There's like
Living
this Black
Worlds,
Series,
there's
and
the
this guy,
buzzword
Bert
again.
Watson in the back. He's like the hype man. He's like, you know, let's go, baby. It's your time. It's your time. The curtains open up.
That guy looks like a
and you
cool
see
dude.
Everybody, cameras flashing. It's just such a rush.
Cuando salí ve el ambiente, sobre todo cuando juegas de local y partido
Yeah.
grande.
This really feels like their honest opinion, doesn't it? Doesn't seem scripted at all.
Viví mucho partido de eso, mucho.
These are honest moments from honest athletes.
Se dice que fueron espectaculares, una sensación muy linda eso.
What we heard there is that sports are as much about your head
Corito says the
as your
subtitles
feet
are
or
all
your
wrong.
hands.
Corito, I'm
We've
assuming
built new
you
technology
speak
that allows players in the game to make decisions
Mexican?
with 4 times
Whatever
more
he was
calculations
speaking.
per second. They'll have a greater field
Spanish?
of vision and the ability
I mean,
to make smart decisions
sorry.
with awareness, anticipation, and context. This advanced processing power creates human-like intelligence. We heard that beating your opponent is about inches
tired.
and angles. That's why we're delivering 10 times
I don't know. I'm going to
more
roll with it. I'm going to
animation,
commit to
depth,
that.
and detail.
Mexican.
This level of fidelity powers how players will plant, pivot, cut with speed.
I'm going to have a snack.
How they will win with true play emotion.
An obnoxiously
We
loud
also
snack.
heard that athletes are fueled by the roar of the crowd. Our games are now living worlds.
Aren't you glad you tuned
3D
into this
crowds,
stream?
Dynamic sidelines, and on Xbox Live, a daily stream of new content that impacts the game as you play. We're inspired by the revolutionary Xbox One, and we know gamers will be
I got up
too.
early for this.
We have much more to reveal from across EA very soon, including exclusive content for the most popular mode in the most popular sports game in the world.
Oh my
Ultimate
god, I'm
Team
almost at
in
3,000
FIFA 14.
viewers for this shit.
And only on Xbox.
Ooh. See that? An exclusive FIFA game for
Look for more
Xbox.
details on that later this year.
Oh wait,
But
it's
for
just
now,
a feature within
let
the
me show
game that
you
nobody's going to
how
want
our EA
anyways.
Sports games will look and play on Xbox One.
Hey, it's next generation sports games. This might actually be interesting for some people, right? Because have we seen sports games shown off with next generation graphics yet? I don't think we have. Yes, on PC. Yeah, I guess. I have no barometer for this because I don't really like look a lot at sports games, so I don't know if this is an improvement, but I can say that all of this doesn't matter because the view that you're going to have will never be this when you're playing. So all this zooming in is only for when you save the replays, I guess, and post them, in which they could just apply extra rendering power post anyways.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That looks
please Phil Spencer.
Do they zoom in now in sports games to make it look cool?
We've joined forces with the industry's premier publishers to bring exclusives, to bring content first to Xbox.
Yeah, it technically didn't say gameplay, did it? It didn't say actual gameplay.
This is a commitment unlike any previous generation. I believe the groundbreaking technology at the heart of Xbox One will
You guys hate this guy. I don't even know him or remember him.
And
You guys
enhance
really
the
fucking
experience
hate
for
him.
the gamer, making games more immersive, more personal, and more connected.
Holy shit, he has double watches, you're right.
As the head of Microsoft Studios, I oversee the
maybe
work of talented creative teams
one is a
around the globe.
bracelet?
These teams are hard at work right now using all the power of Xbox One to build original content and break new ground in game creation and gameplay. To amaze
He's
you
wearing
and
a
your friends
sweater
and your
with
family,
slacks, and that's reason
and
enough to hate
showcase
him.
The unique capabilities
Just wear a
of our
fucking
platform.
suit. Don't pretend that you're
means
casual.
All of you Xbox fans
He's
will
got
get
one
more new,
fucking
innovative
sleeve
games
unbuttoned.
than ever before.
Don't pretend.
Along with all your favorite franchises reimagined for a new generation. Let's take a look at one of those blockbuster exclusive franchises now. A franchise that has
All his
embodied
employees know he's
innovation,
not this laid
quality,
back.
and visual excellence. This is Forza Motorsport 5 running on Xbox One.
At the same time. Hey, it's Assassin's Creed 7. Oh, it's not. Never mind. Is this Monaco? Monaco's a racing city, right? Yeah, car games now. Isn't this awesome? Forza Motorsport. Hey, Europeans, is this Monaco? Looks like Monaco. Who cares how close you can get to the fucking hood? Who gives a shit? You're never gonna look at this when you're playing. Stop it. Show me what the real gameplay looks like. Show me fucking gameplay. I might even be interested this time. I don't mind car games when I'm actually playing a car game. That was useless. That was fucking useless. Remember the PlayStation conference, guys? Gameplay, gameplay, gameplay.
Turn 10
fucking
Studios
demos
have taken
on
the
screen.
very best of Xbox One to redefine what we can expect from a
Gameplay being
next-generation
played live
racing
on
game.
stage, right?
Forza
There was a couple
Motorsport
games that were
5 will
played
be
like live on
available
stage.
at launch, and we can't wait to show you more at E3. For many of us, the thrill of gaming is defined by those first ever game experiences.
But these guys pre-record. Not
you
only
earned
do
an
they not show
achievement,
gameplay, but they
first time
straight
you
up
took your
just
Xbox to a friend's house to play multiplayer
have
in Halo.
cinematics, like the
first
intro
time
to
you
the
painted
game.
your
That's
car
probably
in
the
Forza
exact
and
thing that
traded it
plays when you
online.
boot up the game and then the logo
I've seen how
comes down.
developers are using the magic of the platform to deliver new.
I'm getting angry because this is so disappointing. Like, I don't even know whether there's going to be a show tonight. Like, I mean, of course we're going to do the show, but it's going to be boring as fuck.
Gameplay tailored to the unique capabilities of your device.
There's nothing to even
Visuals
really
so
make fun
real,
of here,
you'll see the
either.
imperfections
It all just
and effects
sucks.
of time, weather, and wear and tear on the world around you. Let me share a glimpse of the future of gaming from a studio that invented the hallmark gameplay technique, bullet time, and garnered numerous Game of the Year awards with Max Payne and Alan Wake. Remedy are world-class storytellers.
Yeah, maybe I'll come up with a game to
They
play
have
on the side.
created a revolutionary entertainment experience that weaves the cinematic action of intense gameplay with the tension and drama of scripted television.
What?
Creating a world where
Is this
each
something original?
has a direct impact on the other. The actions you take and the choices you make shape your experience as the story unfolds. This is Quantum Break.
They use the word quantum specifically. Is this going to be an attempt at like Heavy Rain style gameplay? No, it's live action. What?
Do you think it's safe where we're going?
Yeah, Peyton, I do.
Okay, sweetheart, let's pack it in.
Hey,
I'm interested.
what is it that makes you so different?
Are you sure you want to know?
Is this gonna go after Beyond Two Souls with live action? Fuck realistic graphics. We could just use real people. That's how you get realistic graphics. It's gone to gameplay now, like actual video games. So. So this is the little girl showing the woman this in her head by touching her. Is this really the teaser? Okay, I thought that was gonna be it. What the fuck was that? What did that show?
Jumpstart this new generation of development, Microsoft Studios is investing more than ever in studios around the world to create new and original IP for Xbox One.
So,
in fact, we have more
all right,
titles
so
in
this is
development
confirmation
now
that they're going to
than at any
try
other time
to have
in Xbox
exclusives and
history.
take on Sony's
I'm proud
must-play
to announce that Microsoft
experiences.
Studios plans to release more than 15 exclusive games in the first
There you go.
year
There's
of Xbox
your confirmation.
One, 8 of which are brand new franchises.
Come hell or high water, we're gonna release 15 exclusive motherfucking games. We don't give a shit what they're
We
like.
believe that the
We've
television
just
screen
given our team
remains the
direct
most
orders
relevant,
to create
most important
15
screen in the
goddamn
home.
fucking
And
exclusives.
Xbox One will make your games and TV come to life in ways that haven't been possible until now. To tell us more
3 of them
about
will
our
just be
mission
Nibbles
to
ripoffs.
transform television, please
2 of them will
welcome
be
the head
Bejeweled
of
clones.
Xbox Entertainment Studios, Nancy Tellem.
I like how PlayStation comes out and shows their exclusives and makes everybody go, holy fuck.
During my years at CBS and Warner
Xbox comes
Brothers,
out and gives a number of exclusives and says, be impressed.
in entertainment.
We're going to have a lot of
Among
exclusives.
Our many achievements
And they're going to be
was the
really exclusive and
CSI
awesome.
franchise and Survivor.
Just like the ones on that
Television
other
shows
system.
that offer proof that innovation is about breaking the rules and betting on the power of invention. Today, we stand at the threshold of another great era of groundbreaking television. Xbox is
Back to
expanding
TV.
the canvas and conceiving a whole new
We're done.
art form for
This is
the
it.
creator,
This is all they got.
for the viewer,
Because you got
for the community,
15 minutes left and they still need to
and
show Call
the
of Duty.
industry. Until now,
So whatever this
the television
lady's
viewing
talking about,
experience has
that's
been a
it.
one-way street for the viewer.
Hope you liked it, guys.
But now that's about to change.
Wow.
TV on Xbox will immerse you, enabling you to virtually jump into the action whenever you desire. For the first time ever, TV will be truly personalized to your tastes and your needs.
This is
providing recommendations.
This is worse than I
with
thought it would be.
amazing
This is
precision.
horrible. Like this
And
is
only on Xbox will TV become social.
the only thing that
in
could make it
ways
worse.
unknown to us today, driven and shaped.
There's 2 things
by the
that could make it
community
worse.
Of tens of millions on
Worse and
Xbox
worser.
Live.
Worse
Xbox
is
about
if they.
to become the next water cooler.
Oh
And
my
this
Christ.
is only Act 1. At this very moment, our talented teams in Los Angeles, Seattle, Vancouver, and London are using the magic and science of Xbox to rethink dramas,
Who the fuck is she?
comedies, competition shows, sports, live events, and digital shorts. And one of our first and most important projects starts close to home.
TV will become more custom-tailored to public opinion.
One of the foundations on which Xbox was built has been played for billions of hours by tens of millions of fans. Please welcome my friend and head of 343 Industries, Bonnie Ross.
Anyways, worse is if they don't quash the rumors, and worse-ist is if they confirm the rumors.
For me, Halo
But I don't
has
think they're
always
even
been
going to
more than a
acknowledge them.
game. It's an amazing
Calling it right now.
experience that takes place in a rich and deeply connected sci-fi universe. A universe in
And
which
it's Halo
we can
time.
tell
Yeah, I guess we had to
hundreds of
expect this, right?
stories. We tell these stories through our games.
They're gonna
our
show
novels,
whatever,
and most recently, our award-winning web series, Forward Unto Dawn. At 343,
Forward Unto
we put a lot of
Dawn, Unto
thought
Dawn,
into
I'll
how we
admit,
wanna
is
evolve
pretty good.
storytelling on Xbox One. As a huge fan of television shows like Breaking Bad, Band of Brothers, and my personal favorite, Game of Thrones, it's been inspiring
Safe move.
to see television
Safe
become
move,
a
lady.
medium to bring the scope and scale of
That
ever more
is-
ambitious worlds and
That's a
adventures to
conference
life.
trope. That someone
I'm
will come
excited
out and
by the
profess themselves to be a fan of the
merging
most
the
popular
storytelling
thing
magic
at the
of
moment
television
in
with
order
the
to garner
interactive innovation
public
of
praise
Xbox One.
and affection for them.
So, today,
I'm like
along
you.
with Nancy, I'm thrilled to announce a live-action Halo television series, created in partnership.
Okay,
with
that's
343
going to dominate the
Industries
discussion then
and one
today.
of the best storytellers of all time, Mr. Steven Spielberg.
Wow, that is going to dominate. That's going to dominate all talk.
The entire team on the tremendous work going into
The new
future of
Xbox isn't even a part of the discussion
I
now.
wish I could be there with you today in person, but like all of you here today, I've been playing games for decades. And I even started playing Pong in 1974.
Obligatory Pong.
And over the years, that experience has exploded from the simple pixels of Pong to worlds that are as immersive as, and certainly more physically interactive, than those portrayed on the silver screen. And those stories have gotten more compelling as the technology has certainly improved. And so for me, the Halo universe is an amazing opportunity to be at that intersection where technology and myth-making meet to produce something really groundbreaking. And I'm incredibly excited about the great journey we're all on, the heroes, worlds, and wonders that Halo will take us on.
How much
Thank
money
you.
did they give him? How much money did he get?
We are really excited to bring the world of Halo to Xbox as a premium television series. Thanks, Bonnie.
So it's going to be like a television series like Netflix
Now, before I
or
leave,
something.
there's one more piece of news
Like
I'd
you
like
use
to share.
Xbox as a service
For
to
years
get
now,
that series.
The leading edge of interactive TV on Xbox has been live sports. We've
Fuck.
invented new ways for fans around the
That
world to engage.
is going to be all
enjoy
anybody's
the
talking about after today.
teams they
Is or
So
about
we're
today is
determined
that
to
moment.
deliver even more innovation
A Halo
to make
television series
Xbox
directed by
your
Steven
home
Spielberg,
for sports.
and that is going to dominate
honor
all
to
the
introduce
television
a
news media.
game-changing partnership
Any of your classic,
with the most
your mom and
popular
pops,
league in
the
the
stuff your
United
parents
States.
watch,
This
they're going to
alliance
hear
will
about
not
that,
only
and that's
change
it.
the fans' viewing experience, but transform the sport itself.
Is he producing or is he directing? Yeah, sorry, I didn't actually get that. They just said he was involved. Like, that's all I kind of...
We've always innovated on the
What
field
was the
by
exact words they
trying to
used?
make our game more exciting, to make the experience better for our fans. Whether they're at home watching on television or in the stadium, where we're trying to bring more technology to improve the experience for our fans in that stadium.
I'll just go ahead and turn this
Microsoft over
down.
the last 30 years has brought great technology that empowers people around the globe. We're continuing that tradition with Xbox to bring new features, new functionality to people using all the assets of the company.
So, Don, how will this experience be better on the Xbox for NFL fans?
With Xbox, we're going to have exclusive content that we will use.
This is
with
awkward as
Smart
shit.
Glass, with Connect, with some of the innovations our creative teams are doing to bring fantasy football to life, to be able to interact with others, to do things using all the devices in your living room as you're participating with your friends. So it's going to be a really rich palette for us to create.
So it's going to be easier to play fantasy football with the device and a better experience.
Imagine your NFL team integrated with your large screen TV. This is going to be the first time with our partnership.
I don't want to
Xbox and
imagine
the
that.
NFL
Do I
can bring
have
a
to?
live broadcast and a real-time
Well, I don't have
fantasy
anything else to
experience
do,
where people
so.
can see their fantasy league stats, snap to the broadcast. When your favorite player scores a touchdown, it updates your fantasy league status, and it will allow you to also reach out to your friends, make a Skype call, and openly taunt the success you're enjoying that your friends aren't. Using the combined assets that we have to make the stadium experience, to make the in-home experience great, that's what our opportunity is.
Well, when we look for partners, we look for the best. And from a technology standpoint, Xbox, Microsoft, there's no one better. Now fans are going to be able to experience football in a way they've never experienced it before. You're going to change the game of football in a way that is just going to be so dramatic and help us really make the game carry into the next century.
What is a fantasy football league? Because I couldn't get past that. It was tough actually visualizing, not knowing the concept.
This partnership will redefine NFL experiences for the fan through
I'm kidding, I know what it
exclusive
is.
and interactive content that you'll find only on Xbox. And it will also change
Tell you the
game
truth,
for
that was
coaches
actually
and
probably the
players
most enjoyable
through
part of
Microsoft
this morning so
technology on the
far.
sideline. The NFL on Xbox, just one more reason Xbox One is a must-have system for your living room. I want to thank you for joining us today.
Oh, wow. That's
We have an
it.
ambitious vision for
We're going to end with
Xbox
Call
One
of Duty, and that's it.
to become the all-in-one system for every living room. The one system you're going to use and love
My
every
Christ.
single day. The place where your games, TV, and entertainment come alive. Today, you've seen how we're transforming TV experiences. We've shared the magic and science behind our system, and you've tasted a new generation of games powered by Xbox One. We've welcomed Steven Spielberg to the Halo universe with the Halo TV series and celebrated
Yeah, he's
his
not
historic
directing.
partnership with the NFL.
He's producing.
I'm pleased to announce that we'll be launching Xbox One around the world later this year.
Whoa! Whoa! Later this year? That's this year! They're going to release it in the year that we're in right now!
This is just the beginning.
Wow!
Can't wait to share the next chapter of our story in a couple of weeks at E3.
For like a split second, I thought he was going to say that it was going to be available like in a month or something, and I was going to be impressed. I was going to say, okay, that I'll give it to them. That surprised me. That impresses me. I'm ready to go buy a new system.
By presenting a world
Like,
premiere
that's exciting.
from one of gaming's
Even if it didn't make
great
sense that they would release it so early.
They helped define excellence on Xbox
Why would he
360.
even put that in
They
there?
found their home with our Xbox Live community.
That moment.
And they are the #1 series in games today and one of the biggest franchises in entertainment history.
This is shit. This is pure
Just like
fucking
on
shit.
Xbox 360,
Address the rumors.
downloadable
Are you going to get rid of the used game market?
Call of Duty will launch exclusively.
Can I sell my copy of Call of Duty after I debut it on the show and first look it?
Please
Exclusive
welcome
downloadable
Activision
content
Publishing
on the
CEO,
Xbox One.
Eric Hirschberg.
They're not going to address it. That's enough to like, oh my
Thank you,
God.
Don. It's great to be here.
They're not going to address
This
the
is
rumors.
a huge day, not just for gaming, but for all of entertainment. Now, just to be clear, I am the last human speed bump standing between you and seeing the world premiere of the next generation of Call of Duty up on that screen in a couple of minutes. So knowing my audience as I do, I'm going to try to get to it as fast as possible. I think everyone was expecting us to play it safe this year and simply make Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. But we didn't want to do the safe thing. We wanted to do the right thing.
Is he saying they did the safe thing
Eliminating
last
as
year?
many creative restrictions as possible so that our developers could create an entirely new Call of Duty for the next generation. And that's exactly what we're going to deliver with Call of Duty Ghosts.
Oh, is he saying that Ghosts
new
isn't a
world,
numbered release, but it's
new
like a
narrative,
Call of Duty Black
entirely
Ops
new
type
cast of
thing?
characters,
Yeah,
all
new
built
cast.
on our new next-gen Call of Duty engine. Call of Duty set the
Does this
gold
count as
standard
Call of
for
Duty
first-person
4? It's not
action
Modern
in the
Warfare,
current gen,
right?
and make no
Is that what he's
mistake,
saying?
We're going to do it again with Call of Duty Ghosts for the next gen. We've had a camera crew
It's
inside
Call
our
of Duty
iconic studio at
Connect.
Infinity Ward, capturing the creative process as the vision for this game is unfolded. And we wanted you to be the first to go behind the scenes and take a look at what they've been up to.
More like Call of Poopy.
Here at Infinity Ward, we've had a great time.
God, I wish I could
crafting
fast
the
forward, but I
benchmark
can't.
Of the modern
It's
day
live.
shooter on current gen, and we're really excited that we get to
I
be the
hate
studio
live.
that brings Call of Duty into the next generation. We have a whole new story with brand new characters, completely new
Call of
world,
Duty.
and this is powered
Call
by
of
a new
Poots,
next gen
more
engine
like.
that gives us amazing graphic fidelity and really innovative new ways to play the game. So what we wanted to do is create a cast of characters that you really felt more emotionally attached to. We had the opportunity to work with Stephen Gaghan. This is the guy that won an Oscar for writing Traffic. He wrote and directed Syriana.
Fuck me.
What they really wanted in this
Oh,
game,
I
Call of Duty
fucking
Ghosts,
hate Traffic.
is they wanted
Maybe you guys
emotional
don't, but I
reality.
fucking hated
You know, They
Traffic.
wanted these characters to feel real, to feel like real people.
So the story opens up with a massive.
He's Canadian, isn't he?
America is crippled.
Or no,
military
he's not.
forces
Never mind,
are
he's not.
devastated. Our government's in disarray. And as the player, you are actually the underdog, fighting back against these superior forces. So the team you're a part of is formed from the remnants of all the U.S. Special Forces.
Ghosts are a super elite fighting force, to like the Spartans, all the way through SEAL Team 6. They've adopted every technique that's useful for modern, urban, guerrilla-style fighting.
One of the fascinating new additions to your squad is a dog. We've had dogs in Call of
Doggy!
Duty before, but never
There's
like
going
this.
to be a
This is
doggy!
someone you care about. This is a squad member.
Oh my god, they mocapped him!
Explosives to protecting the team. So
Oh.
this next Call of Duty, being in a new world on a whole new storyline.
Doggy.
One of the things that we wanted to do to support that.
I'm
was
sold.
create
I'll buy
a
it.
new engine.
Pre-ordered. First bit.
Our
A+++++.
goal of this game is to make
Would play
brand new
again.
Next-gen characters and weapons that's never been seen before in Call of Duty game. We have a new tech in
More
the
like
game,
Call
so
of
deep.
Doggy.
This is the closer you get to it.
Just
the more
call it
tries
what
to
it is.
maintain
It's
the
Call of
curvature
Doggy,
that you
because that's
see.
all anybody's
This
gonna
is
give a
very
shit
helpful
about.
in weapons, the helmets for characters. That makes a huge
Call
difference
of
for visual
Doggy.
fidelity, what the player sees from a distance as well as close up.
With a new next-gen console, this is an opportune time for us to reinvent.
There better be
the
dog
experience
footage
that we
in the-
deliver. It's
in the
important
trailer
to
they
keep
show.
Our core philosophies about gameplay drives tech.
So when I think about the animation features that we've been working on for Call of Duty,
4
Ghosts,
minutes to go.
The first things that come to mind is immersion. We have a new mantle system so that when you're running quickly and you hit a wall, you get this nice boom, you hit it and you leap and you go and you just maintain your momentum. But we have the lean feature that allows you to lean out and lean in and you get a better view of the battlefield. So another
Oh, they have a
feature that we're
lean
working on with
feature.
Animation is the slide. It allows you to get
Revolutionary.
somewhere quickly, get out of the line of fire, and at the same time do it in a really cool looking way.
We've added fluid dynamics, interactive smoke, and also added an AI system to it. So we have fish move out of the way when you get close to them.
The poly counts, the texture increases, the shaders, the lighting, tech, the level should feel like you're really there, and all the technology that's going into it allows you to achieve those goals.
With this being an all-new Call of Duty, we really take revamp multiplayer. One of these new inputs I'm most excited about is dynamic maps. Quakes and floods down to player-driven actions. Doors, explosive traps, things that change
You're
the
welcome.
flow of the map. All of this creates a new dynamic
You're
experience for the
welcome.
player. Another new
See?
feature is character customization.
That's Rash Rash.
You
He
can choose
says
the
what
heads,
we're all
you can choose the
thinking.
bodies, you can choose the helmet and gear that you're wearing. You can connect with who you are as a player more so than we've ever done in the past. Dynamic maps and character customization are just
Have I
two
said
of
this
the
already?
innovations that we're bringing to next gen.
Sometimes, even though you guys will tune in to watch me watch a conference,
and we're committed
you'll get
to
a
creating for them
you'll
a new
kind of wish
next
sometimes
generation
that I wasn't
Call of Duty
talking as much so that you could hear a little bit more of what's being said.
Call of Duty has
But
been as successful as it is.
be honest, if you're one of those types of people in there, did you feel that at all this time around? That I talked too much over stuff that you wanted to hear?
All of the new story elements, everything that we're
I think
putting into
even
this
the
next generation Call of Duty,
the
we are
most
still
hardcore and
60
wanting to
frames
hear
a second,
everything type person
low
is
latency
not going to be
controls,
disappointed.
A great feeling game.
This will be the most beautiful Call of Duty game we've ever made. It will also be the most character-driven and emotionally
Hell,
engaging
going
Call
back
of
to the
Duty game
Sony
we've
one,
ever made.
I even wish I
And
talked
it
a
will be
little
the
bit less
best
because there
Call
was
of Duty
moments
game
where I
we've ever
didn't
made.
get
A
properly
stunning leap forward,
informed
not just
because
for
I
this
talked over
franchise,
shit.
but also for console gaming.
There was moments
show
where
you
I
what I
showed it
mean,
again to the
we've put
guys,
together
and I was
a little
surprised by
comparison
facts that I hadn't
that
heard the
shows
first
you
time
what's
around.
possible on the next gen, and put side by side the differences between what we're going to be delivering in Call of Duty Ghosts and what was in Infinity Ward's last game, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, which was state of the art just a very short time ago. And when you look at the differences side by side,
They're going to show their
it's actually
advancements
pretty
by showing their previous generation, their previous engine.
This sequence shows one of Modern Warfare 3's main characters.
Because Modern Warfare was the pinnacle of graphical achievement at the time. Oh wait, it
The
wasn't.
technology employed by the new engine allows us to take the visual fidelity of our models to a whole new level. This next generation head is modeled with multiple features represented: sub-D, high-resolution textures.
What does it fucking matter? I mean, it may be during the sequences where,
and self-casting shadows.
like during the campaign, but that's the only time it's going to matter.
Here, you can see the dog model from Modern Warfare 3.
And nobody gives a shit
Our new dog model is taken from
about campaign.
high-resolution scans of
I mean,
actual
like
SEAL
I
team
do,
service dog.
but
Every
the
detail
average
replicated,
Call of Duty
right
player
down to
doesn't
the
give a
scars on the
shit.
nose and the
He's never going to be
tattoo
looking at
inside the
guys' faces.
When playing first-person action games, your character's arms are one of the most
Doggy.
looked at visual elements. The arms in
At least that's
MW3
keeping
were
us
beautiful
entertained.
at the time, but the new engine allows for significantly increased texture resolution. This advancement in technology allows us to convey fine hairs, bruising, cuts, and even the dirt beneath the fingernails. Here's an example of a jungle environment from
Yeah, you
Modern
better be
Warfare
able to
3.
play as the doggy.
Now, here's a jungle environment from Ghosts. This scene employs many new tech features, including volumetric lighting, boosted poly count, and self-casting shadows.
Boosted poly count. Is that a new feature? Is that a new technology, guys? Boosted poly count? Oh wait, no, it's increasing the poly count from generation to generation with more powerful hardware.
Technology behind it.
That's not
You've seen
a
just
new
a few
thing.
of the ideas that we're bringing to Call of Duty Ghosts inside campaign, new characters, new story, new narrative, and inside multiplayer, dynamic maps, character customization, and there are a lot more new ideas to come. From new co-op ideas to seamless second screen integration to voice commands via Kinect and more. But now it's time to see it all come
So they are officially running
gameplay
long
you're about
now.
to see is running in
But they're
engine
probably going
on
to end
new
the
Xbox
conference with
hardware.
this.
This is the new generation of Call of Duty on the new generation of Xbox. This is the world premiere of Call of Duty Ghosts.
All right, so this is
10 years.
like the only game trailer we're going to see, pretty much.
You start to forget
So soak it in.
the things you should remember.
At least maybe we can look forward to some AC/DC or something.
And you can't stop remembering the things you should forget.
Doggy.
We've always had the power. Not anymore. All we have is each other.
That's actually pretty nice. If that's real in-game, that shot.
Fighting for something that can't be killed.
No, I feel like they have some pre-rendered stuff in here. It's hard to tell.
Stand against their
Maybe not.
But ghosts haunt them.
No, this is all in-game, I think. Music's nice. Gets me kind of jacked. It looks like it's going to be pretty action-packed. The campaign, I mean. Of course, but... By the way, guys, that weird audio is on their end. The trailer's audio is all fucked up. Oh, an icebreaker comes up from below. A city? All right, so who here saw that video where they showed people seeing the trailer early? And who thinks that those reactions that they had were a little over the top and ridiculous? Oh my God. That's it. It's done. Wow. Wow. That was the worst gaming event that I've ever watched, ever. I can't think of a worse one that I've ever seen. E3, pick any random Nintendo Direct, and it was better than that. I'm not even reaching here. It's true. I've never been less interested. There wasn't even enough to make fun of. There wasn't enough awkward moments, like people coming out to do Connect demos. I would have been more happy about, because at least we could make fun of that. This was just shit. This was pure shit. Holy crap. And they didn't quash the rumors. So I think that we can take this as a confirmation that, to some extent, Xbox is going to have anti-piracy, obviously, anti-used game market measures, a strategy that will attempt to quash it. Is there any reason why we shouldn't consider this a confirmation? Why wouldn't they crush that rumor right now? Right fucking now. Why not crush it? One tweet from Major Nelson, one mention during the press conference. Make a joke about it. Make a joke about how ridiculous those rumors were. Jack Trenton would have. Jack Trenton would come out and make that joke. Reggie would have come out and made that joke. Am I going too far to say that this is a confirmation that it will link your copy of games to the system so that you can't sell them? Am I going too far with that, or does this not? It's not a 100% confirmation, obviously, but what else are we supposed to believe at this point? They have been, and remember, guys, this isn't just about internet rumblings. This isn't like them addressing an internet rumor. This is about them directly refusing to respond to journalists. Like, the blogs have been trying to contact these guys. They've been contacting the PR team that they talk to all the time. They're contacting the PR team that set them up with this event, that invited them down to watch this. They've asked them point blank over and over, will there be tethering to the system for the games that you buy? And they haven't responded. They haven't said anything. Why would they do that if it wasn't true? That's the thing that I think sometimes people forget, is that it's not just internet rumors. It's that Xbox responding to random Twitter guys, like little kids or whatever, getting angry about it. Real journalists, Forbes has been trying to contact Xbox to get a confirmation on that. They're not talking. Anyways, so let me just stop my recording here. The quality was good. The video quality was a bit better than Sony's was. But, yeah. No, we'll have a show. We'll have a show. I just don't know what, it's not going to be much to it, you know. The dog helped a lot, didn't he? Yeah, he did. So anyways, yeah, what are the stocks doing? Has the stock market reacted? The stock market slightly reacted to Sony. I remember. I think it was a dip. I can't remember. Did their stocks go up? Yeah, 8 points isn't really anything to. That's not substantial enough. Wait, that's 8 points, right? Each cent is a point. Is 8 points a lot to a stock like Microsoft? What is it sitting at right now? It's 0.08 points. So 0.08 cents. Because in stocks, a point is a cent, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's not $1 1 point. We're not stock pilots. I don't care anymore. I don't care. Who cares about the stock? They'll be fine. Xbox will be fine, I'm sure, whatever they do. I swear to God, guys, I'll say it again, if they really do have anti-used game measures and you buy an Xbox, you're a goddamn sheep. There's no other way to say it. You can't stick with them if they do. You can't. It almost seems impossible that they will. It would just kill them. It would kill them. Explain to me how someone wouldn't be a sheep to stick with Xbox if it tethers your games to the system. Of course I'm going to buy it for the show no matter what. Especially so that I can buy that stupid game where the little girl touches the woman's head. Because that looked hilarious. I mean, devil's advocate, technically my Steam account, all the games I buy on there tethers it to my Steam account. But the thing is, Steam also comes along with insane sales. Like, the digital era has brought us ridiculously discounted games. And I'm okay with that. I've said repeatedly that digital sales is the best way for... digital distribution is the best way for the game companies to quash the used game market. A legitimate and fair way, I think. But it has to come with subsidy. They have to decrease, because they're cutting out their distribution and their manufacturing costs. They need to pass that, like, they're going to be doing better because there's no used game market, right? So they need to pass that on to the first-hand consumer. And then everybody's happy, aren't they? Imagine if video game prices they came down to like $30. That would make the people who buy used games happy, because they usually they buy used games because they're on a budget, right? So they would be getting games for less, and it would make the people who buy them firsthand happy because they're getting games for less as well. It makes everybody happy. And it will make everybody okay with the fact that you can't trade your game, or it's the real thing that I see. This is the thing, I keep harping on the whole used game thing and how shitty that is. I have sold so few games in the last, I've sold barely any games since I was a kid, so it doesn't really even apply to me. But it's also the fact that you can't lend a game that is tethered to your system, and that to me is like the worst part. Like, I couldn't simply even take if it really does something like tether it to my system, the way that people think it's going to, I can't take my copy of Halo and give it to Ben to go play on his Xbox if things go the way they're rumored. And that, I think, is the worst part about it. It's the worst part about Steam, too. Like, I can't lend Ben a copy of Hitman that he wanted to play because it's on Steam. But again, I bought Hitman on launch day for $40 online, discounted. Tried to do that with retail copies. And it didn't have tax because it was international sale, like from some other website. And that's why I'm okay with it. It's like when you bring games down to that price point, it starts to just matter less and less that you can't sell the used games, them as used copies. I'm rambling. I'm a little shell-shocked. I really wasn't expecting it to be that shitty. I was expecting it, but I was expecting to be surprised, I think. I was like, still had an despite what you guys think, I do have an optimistic side, and I was hoping to be happy coming out of this, being like, all of our fears were for naught, like, good times for Xbox gamers, good times for PlayStation gamers. Competition is good. No change to Xbox Live. That was, I think, at the top of my wish list, was that Xbox Live would become like PlayStation Plus, free to play online games, and if you pay, you get a premium service that gives you awesome benefits, discounts on games, free games, stuff like that. What did K-Shade say? Microsoft has said that a fee would be charged for any game disc to be tied to a second Xbox Live account following its initial installation. Where'd that come from, Shade? Where did that come from? Oh my God, are you serious? It's confirmed? Holy fuck. And it will always install it. Guys, you can't do this. You cannot support Xbox after this. That's it. I'm full-blown nuclear on this. You can't support Xbox after today. You can't do it. You can't do it. Don't do it, guys. Please, I beg of you. No matter how much you're dedicated to your gamer score, no matter how much this matters to you, that like you have all your friends on there, go to your friends, be an ambassador to them about not buying the Xbox. Don't do it, guys. Get a PlayStation. Unless PlayStation comes out and says, surprise, we're doing it too, because they realize that they can do it because Xbox is doing it or something. Guys, you can't. Please don't. I don't know what else to say besides that. Somebody counterpoint me on this. Give me a reason not to give me a reason to support Xbox after this. The reason I'm getting upset is because it's just the same as I just talked about with the conference, not expecting it to be that bad. In my heart of hearts, I was not fully expecting them to do this, to go this far. I didn't think they'd do it, and they did it. Oh, wow. Jesus Christ. So, wait. Are they giving the developers... We need more quotes, because are they giving the developers a choice? I've got mail. All right. Are they giving the devs a choice? What if I'm Ubisoft's Yves Guillemot, and I'm like, we are evil here at Ubisoft, but we won't go that far. So, if we have these Assassin's Creeds on your systems, then you can have it your way and put it on as many systems as you want. That calmed me a bit, doing Yves Guillemot. I won't lie. Okay. The Verge, found by Otts, emailed to me by K-Shade. I'm just reading the article now. You can see my Xbox One game discs are are only used for initial installation. Fee charged for second account. So this is The Verge has confirmed it. Microsoft's Xbox One will use Blu-ray discs for games, but you won't be using them as frequently as you might have with your PlayStation 3. In a statement made to Wired, Microsoft said that all games are installed on the Xbox One's hard drive to play. You won't have to insert the disc. I like that, which is the ironic, kind of sad part about this. I like that feature. I hate having to swap discs. You've seen me. You won't have to insert the disc to run the game after the initial process. The news confirms. However, how many games are you going to be able to install? Blu-ray discs are 50 fucking gigs. How big's the hard drive going to be? Prior to Xbox One's official unveiling, rumors had flown around for months, blah, 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 that this would happen. Microsoft said that a fee would be charged for any game disc to be tied to a second Xbox Live account following its initial installation. This is likely to limit the market of secondhand games, but would not eliminate the possibility altogether. How big's the fee going to be? Maybe all right, let's is it going to be 500 gigs, the hard drive? So you can have up to, worst case scenario, under 10 games installed at once. And you'll have to go through an installation process, mandatory installation process when you want to play more than 10 games in your library. If you've, 2 years pass, I'd say that's a typical amount for you to own 10 games over the course of 2 years. Buy 10 games, install them. You buy your 11th game, you install it, you uninstall your first game. Maybe one more year passes, you want to play the other game just for fun. And this isn't even talking about the casual titles that you pick up just to play for a bit, not even the story-based ones. What about the ones you want to play casually out of nowhere? Like buddies come over and be like, let's play Grand Theft Auto. Oh, I got to install it, though. But dude, I love watching you fuck around in Grand Theft Auto. Install it, I'll wait. It's going to take half an hour, though. Let's just get fucking high or something, then. I'm tripping over my own words. I'm so angry right now. Anyways, like I said, I'm going to bring my anger back a bit. Maybe the fee will be trivial. Maybe it will be completely trivial. Even then it's stupid, but maybe it'll be $1 or $2. Maybe it'll be the same fee that Nintendo charges for buying a Wii Virtual Console title again for the Wii U. You know, like a trivial little token amount that kind of just... I don't even know why that amount exists on Nintendo, to be honest. Microsoft said that if a disc was used with a second account... This is coming from Cipran in the chat. I would like to hear what his source is. Microsoft says that if the disc was used with a second account, that owner would be given the option to pay a fee to install the game from the disc, which would then mean that the new account would also own the game and could play it without the disc, but it would deactivate it. The quote says also own the game. Meaning that the second account would be able to play it from the hard drive as well as the original account? Or you pay for a full second copy? What's this fee going to be? Is it going to be the full retail price of the fucking game? If wherever that quote came from is to be considered true, maybe the representative misspoke by saying also. Maybe he meant that the second account will own the game, and it will deactivate the original account. And they won't own the game anymore. You can actually replay the stream now? No, they're not letting you. Oh, they are? No. Oh. Everything is speculation at this point on the fee until we It would have to be full price. Otherwise, a group of friends is going to group buy their copy of Call of Duty. Hey, Kyle, do you want to play Call of Duty with me and Deacon? We're going to go thirdsies on it. So you put in $20, I'll put in $20, and he'll put in $20. And then we'll each pay the $5 on our own systems to activate them, and then we only need one copy to play the Call of Duties. There's no way that Xbox would let that happen. It's going to be like the full retail price to do that. Munchie says, are developers forced to create games that have these online features and are not thus playable offline? They are not. Xbox exec Witten said to Wired, but I hope they do, so the always online feature may come in incremental steps. It's going to have always online then, confirmed, like up to the developer, but some titles will have always online features, and it'll come in incremental steps. So at first it'll be optional to be always online, but eventually it will be mandatory. Like they're going to act, what they're saying is we are the frog, and they've put us in a pot, and they're going to turn up the heat slowly, and we'll become so acclimated to the temperature that we will eventually be boiling on our own Xbox juices. People are sending me more sources, so I'll go check these. I got an eye twitch again. I've had eye twitches this week, twice now this week, and I haven't had them in like years. One came about from the YouTube Nintendo thing, and now I have one right now. It could be lack of sleep, but I mean, I've gone many nights without sleep in the last couple of years, and I haven't gotten an eye twitch back. I used to get them all the time in college, like constant. Jim Sterling's already making fun of it. If the public opinion is anything but rage about this, I'm going to just not know what to do with myself. Like, what do you do when the world doesn't agree with you? It has to agree on this. I hope it does, because when I watched Quantum of Solace and I came out hating it, I usually don't give a shit what critics think, but I will admit that when I saw the Metacritic rating for that movie, it made me feel a bit better. There is comfort in numbers, and it did help that a lot of people hated it as well. Yeah, that's the main thing. Like, guys, go on a mission for me. I want you to go find the most Xbox fanboyinest forum that you can find. Don't post anything. I just want you to go lurk. See if you can find any fanboys trying to defend this. Defend the anti-used measures. Again, I'm still looking for a confirmation on price. What's the fee going to be? Michael from Achievement Hunter is defending the whole reveal so far and bashing Sony fanboys on Twitter. How can you defend anything that's just happened in the last hour? I can defend the doggy, and I can admit that I'm interested in that exclusive, as derpy as it seemed and as shitty as the teaser was. At least they're trying to make something, original and not a shooter. And remember, I'm not making a call to arms here. I don't want you going out starting flame wars. Those are going to exist without your help. I just want information right now. Jack Trenton apparently talked about the Xbox One already. He said, Oh, it's just saying that in showing the PlayStation 4, Sony had tried to make itself look like anti-Microsoft, and they might have hit the nail right on the head. If Microsoft was pushing gaming to the back burner with this Xbox One announcement and flagging and potentially alienating its core audience, then it's strung along for the last decade. Sony could boost its flagging image by making the PS4 sound like the home for gamers that just want their ego stroked. If you're not a gamer, quote from Jack Tretton, I don't think you'll get it, said Sony's top U.S. exec, Jack Tretton, about the PS4. Sony and Microsoft seem like they're offering similar products, but as far as messaging, they're 180 degrees apart. Apparently PlayStation Europe, who seems to be the more funny of the PlayStation accounts, considering their earlier tweet today about it being a slow news day, has also said FIFA 14 and Call of Duty Ghosts will also be coming to PS4 later this year, ... Because tonight's stream, when I get the guys here and have everybody on the couch, is going to look so biased and so 100% from the moment it starts that I'm anti-Microsoft, that I'm anti-new Xbox, that I have already resigned my opinion to hating it, it's good that you saw today the growing of that animosity. So you know that it started from at least a little bit of optimism and hope and grew into straight-up hatred. Kotaku, the Xbox is not always online but seems to block used. That's a Kotaku link that says it's not always online. So it won't have always online, but they seem to be insinuating, and this is speculation, again, but it feels like they're insinuating that it's going to grow towards always online. That perhaps these always online features that you're going to want to be online for, and it's your choice not to have those features are going to become so intrinsic to the gaming experience itself that it's going to become crippling if you don't have them. Like, one of the always online features might end up being that you don't get clips of ammo if you don't go online. It's online only ammo. So you can still play, but you only get one magazine in Call of Duty. Or something like that. No backwards compatibility. Oh yeah, does the PlayStation 4 have backwards compatibility, or was it going to be the cloud that gave you the backwards compatibility because of the back library? That's kind of how they were explaining things, was that the cloud would have all the old PlayStation titles and you'd get to go in there. Although that doesn't matter to you if you already own some of your old PlayStation games and want to play them on the PlayStation 4. To me, backwards compatibility has always been nice, especially if you're a late adopter and you haven't owned the other systems. And it's nice not to have extra systems sitting out underneath your TV when you want to still be able to go back and play those old. Sony is fucked hashtag. Is that an actual hashtag that's happening? I can't get at these links. Here, I can bring up the chat on the laptop then, so I can get at these links. It's real? Sony is fucked? That's amazing. That is hilarious. What about that entire conference makes it look like Sony is fucked? What? There's nothing in there that makes it look like Sony is fucked. Nothing. Fanboyism really knows no bounds. There was nothing there that was like, uh-oh, Sony's in trouble. Things that could have spelled out trouble for Sony had they done it. An insanely low price point. That's one. Let's see. A cloud gaming service. Well, first of all, an Xbox Live service that mimics PlayStation Plus, I would say Sony's got competition. I wouldn't say Sony's fucked. And I would say good for gamers everywhere. I would have been very happy for everybody. Seems like a lot of the Sony is fucked is sarcasm. All right, guys, go ahead and I will now fully encourage that you go out and flood that hashtag with sarcasm. Please do. 3,000 people who watch an angry, balding man after an Xbox conference. Why are you guys still here? I'm just ranting. Because people like anger, says somebody in Shadow Chat. Guess that's true. Call of Doggy is a hashtag. That one is like, that was the highlight of the whole fucking thing, was Call of, and the Halo TV series that has Spielberg been involved. Not, again, he's not the director, so that's not even that exciting. He's just producing. That's not a big deal. A producer can be anything. Anybody who's been in film or TV knows that it's kind of like an in-joke that producer credit can be given to anybody and anything for doing anything. That's actually ends up being kind of an insult to Becky, who I have long called the producer of the show as well, the executive producer, because she was working for so long while I did AVG. So that made her the executive producer, because she was basically just providing the money for me to keep doing it. Producer credit doesn't take anything to get. It could have been as much as Microsoft going up to Steven Spielberg and saying, here's a bag of money, will you let us call you the producer for this TV series, and will you do a quick interview when we reveal the new Xbox? And he would be like, all right, make it 2 bags of money. Is there a buzz? And it's gone? Okay. Yeah, those happen. Sorry. No shade, actually, the executive producer is often the one that did the least. And usually just brought the money to the table. But it all depends on the movie and the producers. They could have done nothing, they could have done everything. It's really... Is it still there, the buzz? Okay. Anyways, I guess I'll just go to Kotaku to get that article. Gotta say, this post-conference segment is infinitely the most entertaining part. I'm glad that you enjoy watching a dude break down on air. I'm honestly... I really am beside myself. I am upset. I am so upset for gaming. This kind of stuff is just hurting gaming. I've said consistently that the price point already on games is stupid. $60 is stupid, regardless of what's going on with used markets and downloadable titles. $60 always has been overpriced. And now are you serious? Sony stock is 9% up? Are you serious? You're not kidding me. Please tell me you're right. Because that would make me feel good, just because it's like, if anything, Microsoft stock is steadily dropping. Sony stock is up 10%. Are you serious? Oh my god, this is the Metacritic after Quantum of Solace. This is making me feel good. And this isn't fanboy reveling in the failure of a gaming company. This makes me feel validated that there is some sanity in the world that agrees that this is wrong. Of course, the stock drop could have nothing to do with the used game stuff. For all we know, stockholders, I mean, if you think you're your average Wall Street guy, he's going to be like, they're going to charge him for installing the game on a second system? Sweet, that's probably going to make them some money. And they would invest based on that. Probably it's down because... Oh, so the stock's not really going down that much. It's mainly just Sony's is going up. What about poor Nintendo? Is anything happening with them? I would say that the stock reaction is mainly due to the fact that Microsoft just didn't show anything. According to Spike TV's Jeff Keighley, Microsoft's Don Matrick confirmed that the Xbox One is not always on. Okay. I thought you said that it confirmed it was always on. All right. So it's not always on. But again, we don't know what this stepping stairs, like that other Wired quote says, how steadily we're going to work towards always on features being more important. He said that it was going to be a process or something, like always on. Or like online features would be a process, the persistent game worlds that he was talking about. Oh, thanks, Calf. I never know how to pronounce your... He linked to me a comparison graph. Thank ya. I'm going to check that out. I'm going to actually bookmark this. Oh my god, Sony's is... Wow, if that doesn't speak... Wow, that is huge. Wait, let me put it into perspective. I'm going to zoom out to a year's length. Even at a year's length, that blip is pretty fucking huge. That increase. Yeah, even when you zoom out to the year-long graph. Because you have to be careful when you're looking at stock prices. I learned this from always looking at the Canadian dollar value versus American. Sometimes a big spike looks big, but in fact it was just that day that it looks big, and then when you zoom out it looks like nothing at all. However, Microsoft is going up too. Isn't it? No, oh no, it's not. It's... Am I looking at days here or hours? I'm looking at days. I'm sorry, guys, I can't show you this. Calf, link it again so that everybody can go see this. It's a really great way to compare. No, Microsoft is barely going up at all. Yeah, Microsoft is down 0.66. Nintendo is up today 2.27. It's actually pretty good though still. And Sony's is up 8 point. Remember, this is Microsoft in general. Does Microsoft not have a separate gaming ticker? Let's make sure of that. And does Sony? Sony probably doesn't. I don't know if you talked about this already, but apparently all cheers were from Microsoft. So that was confirmed. It was pretty much a no-brainer that that was true. But thanks for confirming. Viewers are still holding steady at 3,000. Well, I guess it's fun to hang out while we figure this out together. The whole story here. Twitter journalist said that cheers came from the back of the room. I thought it also felt like there was a few people like interspersed between every like 4 people, but maybe I was just seeing. I did see the odd journalist going like this, and that's what Microsoft expected. You fill a room with enough people cheering, it's human nature to start to want to just like clap along, like out of politeness sometimes, or just, you know. Wired quote, just for those wondering, are developers forced to create games that have these online features, or are they just, and are thus playable offline? They are not. Xbox Witten said to Wired, but I hope they do. Yeah, okay. So the always online feature may come in incremental steps. So that's a confirmation that Witten wants to see it go towards an always online strategy. But it doesn't need to be. It's not forced. But Microsoft hopes it does. Vote with your wallets, guys. If you think it's wrong to shut down physical media, consoles and physical media is one of the main reasons. It's always been one of the signatures of a console. Taking a game, passing it to your buddy and letting him play it in his room, your roommate, and then taking it back and playing it that evening, lending it to friends at school, renting games, even though that market is kind of gone, and reselling your games. If it wasn't for being able to sell my games, and again, it doesn't really apply to me now. I don't sell my games. I keep them all here in the studio. They're a business expense, and I'm always worried when we might want to check out a game again or look at one. If it wasn't for a used game market, though, I wouldn't have been able to play Earthbound. I wouldn't have been able to play Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy 3 when I was a kid, or Final Fantasy 7, or a bunch of other games. But if it weren't for those as a kid, I would have never been able to afford to play all those. This is the one time where I will revel in a gaming company's stock dropping, because this is a vote. This is like a vote taking place today about what people think about that. And it's not, again, I'll take it back a step. It's not actually. This is about what Microsoft didn't show. This isn't about the used game thing. The guys on Wall Street don't give a shit about that. Unless they see indignation and revolt online after today, and it becomes the topic of the internet. When they see that, when the zeitgeist changes online, then Wall Street will react. That's why you have to remain indignant, remain loud and unhappy about this. I want Sony to capitalize on this. I say this is going to be a golden age for Sony. If people have strength in their convictions and vote with their wallets. To temper some of your reactions to the Microsoft stock drop specifically, it's often, even in Apple's case, when they're showing off a new iPhone that everybody's expecting, it's sometimes pretty typical for even their stock to drop a little bit after a conference. It's pretty rare for a stock to go up dramatically. Usually there's a digestion time for the information among the markets before they really analyze what was what it mattered, and but for the competitor stock to go up so dramatically is a really, really kind of unprecedented one from what I can remember. I don't watch a lot of stocks. I know that I've never seen Microsoft stock go up when Apple's presented a new product. Another Xbox stream in 12 minutes. What? Like a new one, or they're just going to repeat this one? Is it going to be an emergency stream? It's a panel? Xbox on Twitch has the stream. A new one about hardware with one guy. So it... We take it all back. Love us again. 84% of Destructoid readers say that their impression of the stream was meh. Now, what percentage of them's their reaction to the post comments are? They better be more than meh and into. Because the stream didn't include anything about the second-hand market strategically. The multi-OS thing, K-Shade says it's real technology, but it's old things, like nothing new. I don't even know what it does, and I don't care. It didn't like seem to apply to me. Stocks and German Shepherds have gone up. Call of Doggy? Like really old pre-Windows. So it's not a new concept at all. I'm not I'm not happy. Like and I say that because like some people might think that like I'm loving to rage about this. Sometimes I like getting mad and it's fun to be mad with people, you know, about something. Sometimes on the show I like to be mad about something, just let it out. But I'm sad. I am really sad about this. This is shitty. I don't want to hate Xbox. Like I've always specifically chosen my words to say that they're my least loved company. Sometimes I say I have a hate boner for them, but that's just trying to be funny. I didn't hate Xbox until now. Now I'm mad. It's not hatred. Hatred's a really strong word. I'm mad at them though. Like this is shitty. This is just shitty. Forbes says, I don't get the sense that gamers are particularly excited about anything revealed today. Not nearly enough games and way too much TV. And that's the funny thing. They're not particularly, and I acknowledge this, and I've called this smart by them. They're in for the battle for the living room. They want to market not just to gamers. They want this to be a Netflix machine, an entertainment machine, something that dad, mom, everybody in the family wants, and that they can justify this purchase more than they can justify the competitors. They can say, well, it's a toss-up, PlayStation for the kids or Xbox. Well, the Xbox has features with ESPNs, and I love my ESPNs, don't I, dear? And it's got your Desperate Housewives on the DVRs, so let's get this one. Even though that, you know, Sony can do all these features too. It's got Netflix, and maybe it doesn't have the TV features, but who the fuck cares? Everybody's got a fucking DVR, and they know how to use it. But like I've said that's smart of Xbox to market that way, and it is. It really is. To battle for the living room. Even if they are going to piss off a few gamers when they waste an E3 talking about it. But the thing is, oh yeah, that was my point, was that even that market today didn't see anything that's going to make them want this. This is not a product that everybody's going to be talking about, to use the fucking idiom, around the water cooler. Nobody's going to give a shit. I need somebody to hang out with me that can be angrier than me. So that you know how Ben, when he watches me get really angry about something, he can laugh? Even though he might be just as frustrated with the moment, at least my absolute rage makes him entertained. That's why I need a friend that gets angrier than me. Yeah, let's get Angry Joe on the line. I just have to set up a recording for this here. I'm just always afraid that they're not going to make it available very soon after. This is going to actually be difficult to do. Oh, it's on Twitch. It'll be available after right away. Angry Joe raged on his Twitter. Here, let me just post a tweet saying that... I want to put Sony is fucked next to this tweet, but I think a lot of people who aren't able to watch right now are just going to be really confused, so... I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say... Deegan's going to read this now, though, and he'll know exactly what the tone of tonight will be. So will Becky. Do I want to leave it completely surprised how shitty things are to them? I shouldn't tweet if I want it to be a surprise to them how shitty it is. To get their honest reaction. Nah, I'm not going to tweet. Because they'll see it. It'll come up on their phones. Even though they're trying to avoid stuff today. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it as a surprise. They're probably expecting it to a certain extent, but I don't think they're going to be expecting it as much as to be as bad as it is. Put up some quotes for me to feel better. What's Angry Joe saying? Put up, I don't want to go through the computer while you guys watch. Just you guys be my feed. Tell me what everybody... Okay. Oh yeah, so Joe said that they had to push back the conference to respond to PS4 with this. Yeah, exactly. As if this was a pushed back conference. I thought they were going to bring it, really stick it to Sony. And hey, let's go back to that feature. That built-in DVR feature that they said you'll be able to record gameplay. All they showed was a fucking still. They don't have this as a fully fleshed out, developed feature. They pushed it back, I think, to find out if they can do that too. And their developers said, yeah, sure, I think we can get it done on time. We could probably have something like that for our system. And so they said, all right, mock up a fucking UI so that we can show it and tell everybody that we have that feature too. And they did, and that's it. That's what they pushed it back for, was to give their developers a month to figure out whether they can make it happen by launch. I'm liking these. I'm not reading them all out, but I'm liking them. Not backwards compatible. Yeah. That's a good summary. Sorry, I'm reading the bigger chat that I have here. I'm just going to quickly cut my recording. And I'm back. I like to split the files every so often so that they don't get like corrupted and I lose the whole thing. Hey guys, did I go through the stages of grief? Was anybody paying enough attention to know if I did? I feel like there was a bargaining point, wasn't there? And like, because there was the point at the end when they didn't deny it. So that was, I was addressing denial, but I wasn't denying it, right?
Xbox Live's Major Nelson. Welcome.
I might have done it out of order, but I feel like I probably covered all the stages of grief.
All our invited members of the press here in the auditorium with us.
You were like, fuck this. Then you're like, fuck this.
Joining me, I've got some members of the Xbox One panel. Today, you're going to learn a little bit about the Xbox One software, hardware, services,
fuck you,
architecture, and some of the decisions that have gone into making the system.
Fuck
Let's
you.
start with the introductions right here. Todd?
Yeah, my name is Todd Holmdahl. I run the Xbox hardware group. We're responsible for building all the consoles, Kinects, and accessories you see out there. We build everything from silicon to motherboards to mechanical parts.
Oh, so there won't be questions from the press on this panel. It's, well, I guess panels never really do have questions till the very end.
So Todd has been with us since the
But this is going to be moderated by Xbox with questions from Xbox for Xbox.
The software for the console. So think the operating system, the Kinect stack, the dash, anything that's not a game that runs on the box. I've been on the Xbox team for 13 years as well.
Call of Duty is a thing? Is somebody making an account to be the dog?
For 4 years, and then the developer program for 5 years, and since then been working on media and now Xbox One.
Does Call of Doggy Twitter exist yet?
Yeah, and I'm Nick Baker. I run the architecture and verification team in the Silicon organization. My team's responsible for picking all the cool technology.
Call of Doggy must exist. Otherwise, he wouldn't have chosen Call of Duty.
Game consoles started in 1993 at 3DO. I've worked on Web TV, Ultimate TV, and all 3 iterations of Xbox.
And then, of course, if you're an Xbox gamer, you know who this next guy is.
They had to adjust the AI for my character because in the first iteration I kept fetching the flashbangs.
Ouch. With Xbox through Microsoft Games for 13 years now.
All right, I will read those tonight.
Motorsport's really about proving out what our hardware and services are capable of doing. That's what first party is.
Tingle Nader posted a link.
Well, let's get right to it. I want to talk to you, Todd, and talk to you about how has this generation been different from the previous 2 generations of consoles that you've worked on?
Yeah, super good question.
It's not!
I think the biggest difference is what's going on in the living room today. It's different than what was going on 8 years ago. There are a number of major trends that are creating new...
4 is greater than 1. This graph will make it.
First, of course,
oh my god!
Internet
Kazi did this?
in full force now.
Holy shit!
People are not only
oh, that's good. Is that a real account,
video,
guys?
They're downloading apps from the internet. They're
Kazi Hirai?
They're even browsing.
It's a parody Twitter? Fuck. Oh my god, that would have been so cool. And funny. Like, that would have been such a great tweet. And such, like, good-humored, like, you know, not even, like, you know, vicious type of...
you see PCs in the living room, you see tablets, you see phones. And the third thing that is different is NUI. You know, we started Natural User Interface in 2010 with Kinect. You're starting to see more and more voice and gesture in the living room, and that is also creating a new form of a new way to interact with your television set. Now, what we had to do, we had to not only build a great box for gaming, but we also wanted to make sure that we had a box that allowed developers to take advantage of all these things that were happening in the living room.
Now, Dan, you've got some comments how things have changed over the years from a creator standpoint.
Well, Todd's absolutely right.
This is just going to be, this is nothing. Nothing's going to happen here.
Devices are interconnected. One thing I'd really like to comment on is this is a more powerful box, which is fantastic. But it's not just that it's more powerful, it's also connected. It's connected to the cloud. And that gives us as creators the ability
it's connected to the cloud.
Processing that we would use, that we would do on this really powerful box, but also do processing that we can't do even on this powerful box because we have the power of the cloud. So we can move things, physics, AI, worlds. We can move incredible rendering capabilities to the cloud. And that means this box is going to evolve.
All of these things that PlayStation probably has too, these, if it's even going to do this, but like...
what are some of the challenges about integrating those three things into the Xbox One architecture? Can you talk about some of those technical challenges?
Wait, PlayStation talked about how many servers they're going to have.
We build a custom system.
PlayStation talked about because of their streaming service. And
we have embedded SRAM on die on our chip. We really like that because it gives us high bandwidth to the GPU to keep the GPU fed with data. Sometimes when you go off chip with memory, it's harder to keep that GPU filled with data.
Oh man, I just don't. I'm really depressed right now. I hope E3 is awesome. See, now Sony has how many weeks to respond to get to custom tailor their E3? 2? 3 weeks? 3 weeks.
Action out there. The other thing we did, and you heard about
Steam poked fun at Xbox One. You know what, guys? I need help because, like, maybe we should get like a what would be good? Somewhere to culminate all this info, all the best tweets, Twitter accounts that have started. I'm gonna put my mods on it, maybe. A thread is difficult because people post repeated things. Okay, maybe on the forums, but then I need somebody also kind of organizing the info for me because I guess I'm probably just going to be up all day anyways. I'll probably do it too. I don't know. I guess the best thing is Reddit, isn't it? It's like we need it like a subreddit for Xbox sucks.
The voice that's coming in, and then when you say Xbox on, we immediately can power on quickly and get you to your experience. The last thing is we went all in on Connect, completely redesigned it from the ground up.
Don't worry about it. I just always feel this way with the information overload. I always feel like I need everything organized for me, but in the end it ends up being just best for me to go out and find everything. Maybe I will start a... You know what, guys? Use the post that I made about today's show, the one that says, "Are you ready for football?" on our Facebook.
Tell us about some of the things that came.
You can use Twitter too if you want to call things to my attention.
Yeah, so
that you think that would be funny for the show.
Saving power consumption, running multiple operating systems at the same time, delivering the performance you want to do, the feature, the groundbreaking.
But just reply to that if you really think there's things like Twitter accounts and funny things, tweets. Specifically tweets by major things like, what is the Steam tweet? Or did Steam tweet? Did they just send out some other message? Or?
From the ground up. Turned out we had to develop 5 pieces of silicon split between the console and the new Connect.
Yeah, what's GameStop's reaction going to be?
Individual pieces of silicon, we need to make them work.
So right now, the biggest thing we need to find out... Yeah, Steam is Valve. What the fuck just happened? This isn't a buffering issue. This is just straight up offline. They just went offline completely. They cut their own stream. Does that ever happen with my show? Where it just says offline? Is this definitely the official stream too, guys?
About the Xbox One Kinect sensor, can we kind of pull that apart a little bit and tell us about what are some of the enhancements there?
Sure. The new Kinect again.
It is the official stream.
Designed from the ground up with this time of flight technology. First of all, field of view is about 60% better.
DDoS, I bet. I hope not. That's weak.
This allows
That's lame.
us to fit 6 skeletons in the sensor as opposed to 2. This allows somebody tall like me to get 3.
Engadget reports that Xbox One will not allow transfers of Xbox Live arcade games due to the x86 architecture. I thought that the Xbox was x86. Am I... Wow, I really had my facts wrong on that. What the fuck was the Xbox 360.
The depth quality quite.
I thought it was x86 and that it's PowerPC. There goes the stream again. Why am I even trying to watch this? The Xbox site is down. Really? Or the X-Boy site? It's a completely different site. The X-Boys. That's Ben's homepage.
And you can use that's particularly good in low light situation. But what it does is it helps with.
Are they being DDoS, like their site,
really make sure
Xbox's site?
It gets you right, 100% of the time. It knows who you are, and that IR helps a lot in the low light where you have the illumination. It also helps.
No, I can get it. I got to it.
You can tell, what's your face, whether it's smiling or you're neutral. It can tell whether or not you're engaged. And we can add
Microsoft's not super worried about a consumer reaction, though, telling Engadget, we care very much about the investment people have made in the Xbox 360, and we will continue to support it with a pipeline of new games and new apps well into the future. That's their response to how people might be angry that they can't bring their arcade games forward. Actually, where does Sony stand on that? Because they're using a new architecture too. You'll be able to play your PSN games through their streaming service, right? Like Retro City Rampage.
Okay, it's going to be a more powerful so we want it to be great at playing games.
If Brian Provinciano doesn't want to recode for the PlayStation 4, will I be able to play Retro City Rampage through their streaming service because I own it on PlayStation?
Fundamentally changed from the last generation. In the last generation, smartphones hadn't really hit, tablets hadn't hit, laptops were around, but they weren't as ubiquitous as they are now. And when you look at people who are
I'll have to repurchase on the streaming service. I thought that they would know what you owned and you'd be able to stream things you already owned.
Services. It's a very dynamic world, right? They're connected with lots of services and things are always changing. And we realized we had a real problem, right? The normal playbook would be to put a very small dedicated operating system down on more advanced hardware and then go. But if we did that, especially given the needs of the new gamer, we'd realize that
Does anybody actually watch it? Like, have they said anything?
Dedicated OS down on newer hardware would be building a shiny version of last gen, right? So we really wanted to appeal to the needs of the next generation, and we realized, okay, we've got to support the dynamic world of apps and services and change and everything that the internet and the startup culture has brought. And at the same time,
Xbox One will not function without the Kinect attached. Amazing.
Now, the game developer has kind of the opposite needs.
Really, Melly? Really? Sorry.
They don't want.
It's been mostly softball questions.
Exactly how much RAM they have, exactly how much CPU, exactly how
He's not bringing out the hardball for his own developers?
That they're putting into those games.
And I'm looking at Dan for that.
Yeah,
that's what he does.
I mean, these things are expensive. Games are really expensive to build, and you have to tune the artwork. You don't want to build 20 versions of the art because you don't know what GPU or CPU you're on. You want to build just the exact right artwork. Now, if apps and services and other things from other developers are coming and going on the box, that means you're in a dynamic environment and you don't have guarantees as to exactly how much resources the game developer is getting. So we sat back and went, oh, geez, this is a real problem. And we decided to take a risk, and we went and chose technology that originally came from the services world. So think virtual machines. We started with Hyper-V from services, and you start stripping out all the general purpose goo. Right? So in normal virtual machine technology, you don't know exactly what apps you're running.
I feel like I need a bike ride, a trike ride to calm down. I'm calmed down now. Now I just feel exhausted. You know when you get into a situation in public where you have to confront someone, or like specifically like when you're out on a bike and you get cut off or something, you have to scream at the driver because he almost killed you, and you get that adrenaline rush, and then after that you feel weak and shaky. Kind of feel like that right now. The weak and shaky, the after adrenaline. I didn't get an adrenaline rush, but I feel that exhausted right now. I feel so dejected about this.
And a real difference from consoles of the past that operating system boots and is created when you turn the box on.
We purposefully did not target the highest end graphics. We targeted it more as a broad entertainment play. So as much as they're trying to act as though this is a super powerful game, they even admit that this is not bleeding edge.
So now we have a world where we've got
NeoGAF is raging.
Partition.
That's good to hear.
Games, all about,
NeoGAF tends to nowadays be one of the most respected, like, kind of
is one game at a time, and next to it is another
representation of what
apps that are running for a very long period
more.
of time. This way you're able to get
my perception of NeoGAF might be wrong, but like, aren't they considered to be kind of like, a level-headed-ish forum that, like, a community that?
Things at the same time, and this really solves a lot of problems that we've had in previous.
Because don't they sometimes break stories as a community and stuff?
Matchmaking was always kind of hard.
NeoGAF was super pro Microsoft just yesterday. They had a 100-page hype thread for the conference.
You're playing a game, you're watching a movie, you're watching a show. That matchmaking.
I think my perception of NeoGAF might be different. I don't know. Microsoft announced on an FAQ page, since removed, that Xbox One, it's been removed, is designed to enable customers to trade in and resell games. We'll have more details to share later. Designed to enable customers to trade in and resell games. You know what other systems were designed to let you trade in and resell games? All systems before today. Every single system wasn't designed, just did that. That's just what they did. You don't need to design a system to do that. You just let it do that.
It's also about having transistors in the cloud. And the best way I can explain it is that, to me, next gen is...
That's like saying that we have a new form of paperback that has been designed from the ground up to be lent and traded to your friends.
Sensitive load and there's latency insensitive loads. Let's start moving those insensitive loads off to the cloud, freeing up local resources.
They're talking about digital games, are they?
Your box gets more and more.
Because in that case, that's cool.
This is completely unlike previous generations. You've got a fixed number of.
Are they talking about digital games? Like I can lend and trade my Xbox Live games?
Which loads we can move into the cloud that frees up local.
How would they make that okay with the developers? Like, I would like to hear what Brian Provinciano thinks about that. I always bring him up because he's like the only developer that I locally know and talk to on a semi-regular basis. I would like to hear his opinion on what he thinks, how much money it would cost for him to say yes to trading, letting people trade his game without buying another copy.
At the same time, and they're both drawing at the same time. Now, at the hardware level in the GPU, we've got display planes, right? And we can just swap which one's on top.
Like, who's going to agree to that? What developer would be okay with that?
Which one are you going to show on the screen? So, there isn't a whole lot of work to, okay, now we've got to tear something down and bring something up. They're both going, and it is literally, bam, you're into one, bam, you're into the other one.
Also, if they had a system like that, where you can lend a game through the Xbox Live system, and let's just hypothetical, say that it's like a timed system, like you can say, I want to lend my copy of, I'll just say Retro City Rampage, or Super Meat Boy. I want to lend Super Meat Boy so that my buddy can beat all the levels, which only takes like, 2 to 3 days. For 3 days, and that's the time limit, so I will get it back in 3 days. So I can't play it for 3 days because it's a digital virtual lending, and he'll get to play it on his account for 3 days, and then I get it back. Not lend, trading cash, not trade to a friend. Didn't they say something about trading? They'll allow for trading? Second hand, or trade into cash, like... So what, they're going to let people sell to friends? Selling? Like you transfer points between people, or you sell back to Microsoft? What are they, like, what would this system do? This, to enable customers to trade in and resell games. To who? In other words, we're proud to announce at this E3 2013 that we have partnered exclusively with GameStop so that you can no longer use Craigslist to trade in your games. Now you can digitally do it through GameStop from the comfort of your own home.
developing these things.
Look, folks, we all know what Craigslist has. Used bikes and perverts. We don't want our kids getting fucked by perverted bikers, so let's all make sure that they sell their games to GameStop for 10% of an unprecedented power to the player, an unprecedented 10% of the original retail price. We're glad to bring this kind of value to our consumers.
This will just be the start. We have a lot of power that's built into the box for years to come.
And then,
of course, this is all speculation. I'm like painting worst case scenario now because I'm so like expecting it.
I can think of at least lots of examples. I can think of at least 2 specific examples. The first one is on 8 gigs of RAM. Why 8 gigs of RAM? When you think about games and how
This guy is the biggest bullshitter on the stage.
Probably going to be good enough. 4 might have been good enough, but we really wanted to have those 2 things running side by side, right? And that meant we had to have the 8 gigs of RAM. Conversation between hardware.
They splurged and got the 8 gigs of RAM. How much is 8 gigs of RAM right now? How much does 8 gigs cost?
Things running at the same time, so that became a good conversation.
Power efficient as well, and be able to
exactly.
How much does 4 gigs cost versus 8 gigs?
The other example is when I think about
I don't want to look it up.
in particular, memory bandwidth is really important.
$12 difference between 4 gigs and $8 and 8 gigs? Wow.
Really, really fast.
They could have gone with 4 gigs, but they decided to give value to the consumer by going with 8 gigs.
It is kind of a break from the last generation of GPUs, which were very microcode optimization sensitive. The exact.
Of course, that's off the shelf, so it doesn't particularly apply to
how fast they ran.
Supply chain, but
chip architecture is based on supercomputer-like technologies, and it's much more about
Fraser, you will not be able to capture footage from Xbox One. It has HDMI only and Blu-ray, and I'm going to guess it has HDCP. Yeah, so does Sony. Sony has HDCP, but and wait, does the PlayStation 4? Did they say whether it's going to have component?
ready to feed the GPU, and that was.
I have a way to get around HDCP using legitimate devices from that were designed to get around limitations of the early adopters of HD TVs, in which HDCP wasn't included, so they have no choice but to get these devices that circumvent that, and you can still buy those today. They're like $300, so show expense. I was half expecting I might have to do it for the Wii U.
Sort of been mentioned before, we just want to point out that a lot of the technology.
Melly Baker says he's got the same thing. Yeah, it's a thing, so you can get around it.
We talked about Hyper-V and remote effects.
And they've even designed ones for gamers that make sure that they don't have any delay, or at least hardly any. Xbox One, no component. What about the PlayStation 4?
We need to support hardware virtualization to be able to have multiple operating
I prefer a component regardless of HDCP because it's just less likely to fuck up.
Throughout the chip. So there's been I/O coherency for a while, but we really wanted to get the software out of the mode of managing caches, and put in
Sony stock's still up 10%-ish.
On the mass scale in the living room on the GPU, and nested page tables, very technical terms.
PS4 has HDMI, analog AV, so component, and optical output. PlayStation 4 wins in the average Let's Players book as well. And not just Let's Players, just guys who like to capture footage of their cool in-game moments. But it's okay because they have a built-in DVR. All right.
Microsoft Research.
They have to have a built-in DVR because no guy who owns a capture card that he uses to put his best Call of Duty kills online. Well, some of them will, but a lot of them aren't going to want to spend $300 on that HDCP circumventing device. That alone might even sway a bunch of hardcore gamers over to PlayStation or PC.
That's interesting. And this guy.
Xbox allow for 1080p and 4K. I think Sony said 4K too, though, and that's both are lame claims. 4K is so irrelevant.
It's made this kind of project possible.
I think partnership is really the key, not just who we have, but how this company.
Built-in DVR. How big is this hard drive? Well, they said 500 gigs, which will hold 10 games, unless you want to record a lot of stuff. So.
This living room it started changing a while ago.
Like really, if you're recording stuff and installing every single game, how the fuck are you gonna?
The next giant leap forward
Oh, this is just fluff. This is nothing technical. This is just...
What's exciting to me is how it does bring everything together. And we got together several years ago and started thinking about this.
This is almost sad to see.
Together with different takes, including bringing game teams together, but also how we manage entertainment as creators.
It's just blah, blah, blah. This is a revolutionary system. I can't believe it. It's no better than John Ives on Apple's talking on a white background videos where they talk about how the new iPhone is the most revolutionary thing they've ever built, but they've done nothing but add a new camera.
Now you can do that on one screen, or you can do it on the screen in your pocket while you're playing. This console really brings that to bear, and that's what's so exciting to me.
Yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about some of the, we talked about parallelism at a operating system level, but even to get all of this processing out of the box in the first place, that we have to really think about how efficient we are in all the parts within the silicon. So Xbox 360, love it.
What do you guys think of the controller?
CPU, though, not that efficient. You look at the GPU.
It's less curved, I guess, and a little bit less bulky, which I actually kind of like. I don't like how big the controller was before. Well, I mean, it wasn't huge. Hell of a lot better than the original Xbox. It's hard for me to say until I hold it, right? That's going to be the real thing. That's what kills me the most. I have to buy this. I have to buy this Xbox.
Many cycles per second.
Billions, yeah.
Okay, just to be clear.
The GPU as well is multitasking, so you can run several rendering and compute threads. So
Guys, I have to buy it. Let me buy it so you don't have to, so that I can go through it, look at what it's like, and that way your curiosity can be satiated, and you'll be like, I don't know anybody who bought the Xbox because nobody's buying the Xbox. I wish I knew what the menu system looked like. Well, you could go on YouTube and watch somebody else look at it, but I want you to come to me as your number one source. Plus, we're going to shit all over it, so that'll be fun.
To get 8 gigabytes and make that power friendly as well, which is a challenge to get both power friendly for acoustics.
The thing is, it's just like how I want to watch Big Bang Theory, but Becky won't let me because I want to have a real opinion on it that people can't tell me I'm bullshitting. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about because I haven't watched it. So in order for me to have a real opinion on the Xbox, I have to buy it. Like, I have no choice. Even if I didn't want to show it on the show, I have to buy it to have an opinion on
If it
it.
needs it, the power's there. If it doesn't need it, it'll go into a lower power mode and use only what it needs to.
Yeah, we took a lot of new technologies. Each piece of the system is able to switch. Within the silicon, there are actually power switches on the silicon. They actually shut cores off which are not being used. We can apply dynamic frequency voltage scaling.
Somebody sent me something about, let me see here.
You don't have to burn power.
So this chip is actually scalable.
Actually, it's funny because if anybody's going to be reveling today, it's going to be Brian Provinciano because he's really had a falling out with Microsoft.
Beautiful console. What are some of the challenges for designing for the living room?
I think power. What is probably the biggest one, just acoustic.
Brian Provinciano, again, this is the developer of Retro City Rampage. Sony stocks jump after Xbox press conference, smiley face. Sony, you might want to send Microsoft a thank you card.
So we adopted 802.11, ABGN, we have multiple radios,
and then
simultaneous 2.4 and 5 gigahertz.
And then,
USB 3.
Who's the guy who replies to him here? Shuhei Yoshida? Which guy is that? He says, hi, Brian, smiley face. And then he replies with a colon capital D face. Today is a good day. And then Shuhei Yoshida replies with, not bad, thanks. And then he also has a colon capital D face.
Just making sure we were up to date on
He's the president of Sony Entertainment? I thought the other dude was I thought Ridge Racers was the president. Worldwide Studios.
Is it a challenge to work together and say, this is where we think the future is going, we're making that bet?
Hirai is the CEO,
A challenge,
and he's the I don't know the difference.
All of us have worked here quite a long time, and even as Don said, opening up the whole discussion, this is honestly one of
That's pretty crazy, though, that the president is responding to random little PlayStation developers tweet like that.
Be biometric. What can you do with a game that way if you can actually turn the tables and, see if the player's lying, see if the player's excited, see if the player's scared. There are incredible places this can go. And as Boyd said, having an optimized, predictable platform allows creators freedom because we know the rules. It's like playing chess. You need to know the rules. If you know the rules, you can do incredible movements. Too much freedom actually paralyzes you. So
Thanks to Tiun for sending me Brian's tweet.
Very stable rule set we can optimize against.
If that's how you pronounce your name, sorry if it's not.
Such as Connect, such as Smart Glass, where it's just baked in and we can start combining things that people never expected. So bringing Smart Glass,
highlight of the conference price is right.
And Connect.
What was the price again?
This beautifully rendered screen. I mean,
what is the price for this system?
Of where we can go. But what excites me the most, as I mentioned earlier, was the cloud, and that is in essence giving us the freedom that's kind of fear-inducing in that we don't want the randomization.
It's not even announced.
Like having
one of the things that everybody, Sony brought a price tag, and
PC config can be a lot of work.
Wait, did they bring a price? Yeah, they brought a price tag, right?
The power we can tap directly into to offload processes and do again the low latency processing we want to put out there. So now we have the best of both worlds. We have a
Sony didn't.
Platform that we can create.
I thought they did. Why did I think they did?
A more powerful world that we can tap into.
Huh.
I think that really is a fundamental.
Maybe I just imagined one. I read so many rumors about the price that I just believed them. Because aren't we're all saying that it should be $349, right? Like, would be the best price for them to debut at. Oh, I think I'm just thinking of the Wii U, I guess, when that was released.
That's going to happen in this generation, but add to it a
everything's
growing
muddled.
Number of transistors in the cloud that are really not very far away that you can start to move those loads.
So
you can start to have bigger worlds. You can start to have.
Who's gonna bring out their price first?
Take some of the things that are normally done locally.
CNET predicts $499 for the Xbox One or for the PlayStation 4.
This generation is about embracing change and growth while still maintaining the predictability the game developer needs. Right? This is a balancing act that we have to achieve.
Mutant, did he just say that?
Very exciting.
No way.
It's a new way of thinking.
Or you're just saying that.
What could be done with them?
Yeah, I think that there are a number of inflection points that are really critical for experience development going forward. The inflection point of the internet and the cloud, and these guys talked about it, it is going to change the way people experience things in the living room and any place that they carry a device. There's an inflection point occurring with the multiple devices being connected together and having an ecosystem connecting all things together.
Yeah, $499 would. It's hard for me to
when you get these types of inflection points occurring,
think about what prices, like except in relative terms, what prices are good or bad.
To shift share from one set of devices to another set of devices.
It's really hard for me to gauge those numbers nowadays because I've like for like multiple years now considered price to be no object when buying gaming related stuff.
How you're going to apply that to the product.
Sometimes it's hard to keep your head in like
experience group, your software group, and your hardware group.
450's pushing it. Because what's the Wii U going for? Like $349, right?
Well, something that Boyd triggered about and down about Infinite.
And what did the
World.
previous generation go for?
Technology we put in to enable really large dynamic worlds as well. So we have a thing called partially resident textures that the GPU supports, which essentially means that you can save potentially gigabytes of memory in not having to have
well, here's a good way to, in relative terms, figure out if a price is too much or not compared to previous. Like, and you don't even have to adjust for inflation this way. Go back and find out what the PlayStation 2 was when the PlayStation 3 came out, and then figure out find the difference, and do the same with the Xbox and the Xbox 360. Find the difference between the Xbox and the Xbox 360 when it came out.
Think about the Kinect stack.
Not when they first came out. I mean, how much was the Xbox when the Xbox 360 was released? The difference between those prices versus the difference between what we might expect now.
and turns that into skeletons and things.
No, you don't have to factor in inflation in this way. Well, I mean, yeah, you only have to factor in one number, the difference number, in inflation. But that's it. Not the two numbers between the systems. Because I'm talking about the day that it was released. Find the difference.
So I expect that to also improve.
It might take a little bit of research to find out how much the predecessor was the day of release of the other systems, though.
And both the OS, from Connect, from overall functionality, it's going to be fun.
And even your games won't be as static. It was mentioned quickly in the briefing, but achievements, things that are actually evolving.
But to get a true perspective of what an adequate price is in the barometer of public opinion, you have to go back and do that kind of.
How the world is moving. What are people doing?
And versus its competitors as well. Because what I mean, an Xbox right now is like 150, 170, 200 even with tax or something, depending on where you live. PS2 was around 150 bucks when the PS3 was first released. No wonder the PS2 stayed so popular.
Realize that taking an arrow in the knee actually becomes something that people want to achieve. That can actually be an achievement that just comes right into work.
Really
oh, that's cool.
When we first built Xbox Live,
well, there's the first real good news I've seen. Xbox support confirms official support for Xbox Friends list will expand to 1,000. Boy, do I hope that PlayStation does the same. It would be nice to actually get, a whole bunch of people who watch the show in on my friends list. Especially, well, mainly, I guess, turbos, so that we can do more like, more is to say any turbo community shows using Xbox.
Maybe we should add some achievements over.
Believe me when I say that I want to do those bad, and I just
necessarily perturbing that local world of the optimized graphics and the optimized, the optimized gameplay locally, but still adding new achievements, adding new challenges, having growth because it's connected to the cloud.
Yeah, it won't matter because none of you will have an Xbox One. Well, will the 1,000 increase on the original Xbox too? The Xbox 360? Will it only be on?
The thing we've actually kind of glossed over is the fact that this box is just very powerful. So we can do things in physics. We can do things in animation.
The PS4 will have support for 10,000 friends? Is that serious? Are you serious?
It's incredible, right?
Now, we saw some of your game a little bit earlier in the show, and we're going to see hopefully some more stuff at E3.
I would expect something like that.
Okay. Well, that's only 19 days away.
Aww.
We've got a few more minutes here before we wrap things up. I just want to talk to you a little bit.
Because that's basically unlimited, which would be great.
From the beginning, looking back, we all talk about putting putting the network port in the back of the original Xbox. That seems so ridiculous now, right? But looking forward, are we at that point now where it seems obvious that this?
That guy kind of reminds me of Trey Parker. Or wait, Matt Stone.
For each of these generations,
Trey Parker.
At least one major.
He reminds me of him a little bit.
One major change that's happened. In the original Xbox, it was putting that Ethernet port on. That was a really big deal. We had a powerful box, but just embracing the fact that there was a cloud and the internet was there and trying to figure out what to do with it, that was pretty radical.
I don't know what else to say now because they're not giving me anything else. Have we covered everything? The only one outstanding piece of info we really need right now is what the fee will be. What that fee will be based on.
So there was definitely change there. For me, this time around, it's
what will the fee be when you want to transfer a game to another account?
It's really fundamentally different. It's a different way of thinking about your
and will that fee be relative to how much the current market price for the game is?
We could also go on about how the supercomputing style architecture makes
that's a big question for me is if the fee for me to transfer my copy of Call of Duty over to a buddy, I want to sell it to him. I want to, whatever. He takes it, or even I lend it to him, but give it to him. He takes it, and he has to pay, because Call of Duty is still $50, he has to pay $40 to activate it on his system. So I can sell it to him for $10, and then he's just like he's bought a new copy, so why would he do that? Anyways, whatever, these are numbers I'm making up. But the thing is, what if I give it to him when Call of Duty is worth $20 at the average retail price anywhere you go. Will they reduce the price that it costs to activate on the second machine?
They can start adding these into their games or their experiences. And I think that you're going to see some great experiences start out when we launch, but people are going to learn more and more.
And the other thing that I keep hinging on is the only quote I've seen so far about this uses the word also, and that when you when your friend installs it, he'll pay a fee and he will also have access to that game, which makes it sound like these discs are nothing but a single license and an install disc. And if you want to give that install disc to another person so that they don't have to download 50 gigs of data, you can, and that will save them the trouble of downloading, but it has nothing to do with owning the game, and you have to purchase the game, and you just get the benefit of it having an install disc.
Which was ahead of its time. It's obviously a long time ago. Web 2.0 is not really talked about anymore. But putting user-generated content and
like if you can both play the game after that fee is paid, then this fee is going to be the full price of the game. So that's no used game market. That's just they would never make it less unless it's $10 or like the price of a digital download or something. They're not going to make that fee a trivial amount. In other words, there is no such thing as selling your game then.
And yet nothing next to what we
so
have right
is that been confirmed from multiple sources then that both will then own the game?
Going farther away, the voice recognition, and then just working in the dark, working with children, working all the time, all the things that even though Connect 1 was the most, honestly, it was an incredible technical achievement, it had its limitations, and those are addressed and then some. So now we're actually freed up not just to cover over, oh, my kids get cut off, or I'm really tall and I'm not seen there, but going into, wow, the player's actually getting excited. We can see that they're flushing, they're getting agitated because they're playing online, or we can see, what's actually happening in the room, that somebody has come in behind them.
I just want to see another source on it besides that one sentence that they said to Wired. If you guys could find something in which they've, like another direct quote in which they've been more clear.
The nice thing is it's basically free to us as creators. Yeah. It's simply part of the box. It's simply part of the tool set. So when you pick up that tool belt, there it is. There's the hammer.
There it is. All right, well, we only have a few more minutes left, gentlemen, so I'm just going to ask for each one of you for maybe some closing thoughts before we wrap it up.
Well, this has been, of all the generations I've had an opportunity to work on.
In case you didn't see, Fresh, the TV live streaming requires a separate device from Xbox One, and of course it's only available in the US. Of course. A separate fucking device. Yeah, I heard about that device, actually. I forget what it's called.
And experiences like we've never done before. We have an opportunity to really change the way people interact in the living room with this product. And I really like the fact that this is just the start. We're going to come out with the product. There is a lot of opportunity for us to continue to develop experiences with the cloud, with the power that we have in the box, with the power that we have to connect to other devices. And I see great experiences already, and I know that
with Xbox One you can start playing immediately as games install. That's something PlayStation also featured, and I would suspect it's another thing that they cobbled together after seeing the Sony conference.
I love games. I've been playing them for a long time. I don't know if I call myself a next-gen gamer, because the idea of tweeting and being social while playing a game just kind of drives me crazy. But
he considers next-gen gamers to be somebody who wants to tweet and socialize while they game. That's what he thinks a next-gen gamer is. He says I don't really consider myself a next-gen gamer because I never really thought about tweeting and like going crazy and social on gaming.
The rest of the entertainment industry is also changing around us, and the TV thing is very exciting. There's lots more in there that we haven't talked about yet that you'll see. And it's just embracing that change.
He's a developer who fully believes, without even breaking into a laugh, that Twitter is next-gen gaming.
I can't wait to get one.
That too.
Yeah, it's. Just as playing games, entertainment. It's been a thrill working on it.
By the way, the reason all these developers are being such bitches here and just like towing the company line It's not just because they're employed by Microsoft. It's also because after this, one of them gets voted off the island.
There's so many innovations coming our way that we can, as creators, take advantage of. And more importantly, I think this is the first, living room device that is embracing this huge cultural change where people expect and in all of their products. They expect their phone to be a computer. They expect their computer to be a tablet. They expect their tablet to be an MP3 player. I mean, everything is supposed to work together.
Also not good from Xbox.com. Xbox One system software uses a significant amount of storage. Less internal storage will be available to users.
And so that's
I wonder what significant means.
for us and those that we represent. But incredibly
For them to say
not only for the
significant?
consumer, but for the four of us and all that we represent. How can we challenge this? How can we bring people the entertainment that's not just, wow, that would be cool, but actually, that's what I expect. That's what I demand.
People are going to have a heyday with this green screen and parody videos.
From now, everything that we're doing right now is simply expected of all devices, and probably my car. Okay, shouldn't play Forza while driving a car.
That would be weird.
That's a little meta, but anyway.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I want to thank everybody here in the audience, as well as watching on Twitch TV at home. Don't forget, 19 days from now, we'll be down at E3 in Los Angeles. We'll have live coverage of everything going on there. More Xbox One games. We're looking forward to sharing even more details with you. So thank you very much. Have a nice day. Thanks, guys. More video?
So Wired is the only one who's been able to get him to go on the record about the used games, or is there any other info? Don't make me pick up the computer and do it myself. Because I'll do it. No, I won't. I'm not going to do it. Too tired to Google. Oh, I guess I'm probably going to get out of here and have a nap and then get up and get ready for tonight. Thanks for watching it with me, everybody. And I'm sorry, but I'm not the one who should have to apologize. But Christmas is canceled. See you tonight, guys. We'll be live here with the whole gang, shitting all over all this at 7 o'clock Pacific time. That's an hour and 7 hours and 15 minutes from now. See you, buddies.